Devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand, bang, got my hand.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? And thank you so much for taking the time to join us. It's funny. You have to excuse the longer intro there, but it's funny because as I was playing this. I don't know if you guys know, but a very special individual made this. Do, 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 for your boy, and this is actually an indie artist that makes excellent beats. They are someone that's very near and dear to my heart, and so I've been playing that because that's like that's like the thing that we play. But I kept seeing people say, "Devil in a red dress, devil in a red dress, 911, Namagila." So I was like, you know what? Let's run it. I'm just gonna run that song real quick. We didn't even finish it, but it's good. Look, it's a good song. It's a good song. I know, but there's actually been a little bit of controversy on if where if it's even like appropriate to run that song. Especially like I know y'all like the viewers. You guys know what's up. You guys know that it's a song at the beginning. I show the comments like, "Hey, look at everyone here, yada yada yada." Right? It's funny. I clicked on like four of Zanti's. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look at all the people here, blah blah blah. But if a new viewer were to come in and be like, Is this like a music channel? Like, what's going on? I don't get it." Right? So, it's been a little bit of like curiosity on that. Like, should I keep the music in? Should I, nix the music? I don't know. I like running the music. I like the ramp up to the thing. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, look, I appreciate all you guys, everyone tuning in. Thank you so much. We jam into the intro. That's what I'm saying, right? Like it gets you like amped up, like the show is about to begin. I kind of like that personally. It's like at the beginning of a boxing match or whatever when the dude's like, "Let's get ready to rumble!" Like that kind of thing. It's like it gets you hyped up, man. Gets you hyped up. Let's go ahead and do a quick intro to all the channel members because look, let's be real. It's the channel members that keep this channel afloat, and all the support to DLD hardware and definition knives. I have a couple orders actually outstanding for definition knives, which I got to reach out to because someone ordered a Copilot somehow after it was marked as out of stock. So I have no idea how they managed to make that happen. And then I had one more Copilot, and then someone ordered a complete launch, all of launch one, and I was like, oh, how did I forget this? Because if they order the complete launch, then I got a Copilot. I got to get a Copilot in there, and I only had one, so yeah, so that's donezo. So we are waiting on some more knives, but apparently people in the great state of China like to take off months at a time. So we're just waiting. Anyway, let's go ahead and go through with the intro, greet everybody, and we'll get it in. It's going to be a great conversation tonight. I'll be real with you. I almost didn't do a show because I've been sick for the last few days. Even today, earlier today, I was still burning up with the fever and all that. But I was like, you know what? In the evening, like I feel okay, so let's do it. I also injured my right arm. I have no idea how I did it. Apparently, doing some digging, it appears I have like a tennis elbow from drawing and shooting and doing all that stuff. So literally me drawing, presenting, and shooting for thousands and thousands of hours has actually given me something that they say is probably called tennis elbow, which man, I can barely, like literally, I can barely, like this is painful, which like man, it's obviously I even the thought of like not being able to even just that what I just did, like talking with my hands because I can't stop doing that. The thought of not being able to shoot anymore like would literally break me. So I got to get it fixed. I got to get it taken care of. Technically until some particular event happens, I'm still covered under health insurance kind of. So we don't need to get into that. Anyway, let's jump into it. My bad, y'all. Kurt 24, the producer of the show, was first in chat tonight, brother. Let's do a fist bump. What do you think, Kurt? Fist bump, or do you want the let's do a fist bump. That's manly. You know what I'm saying? Kurt 24 not only is a channel channel member, but he is also a moderator. So put some spec on his name. Eric, brother, great to see you. Mr. Eric Stockbridge, channel member. Appreciate you, brother. We got Lightning McQueen in the building, brother. Great to see you as well, man. Appreciate you. Also a channel member. Let's see who else we got. Kurt 24. Eric Stockbridge, Lightning McQueen, Gutted Cheese. Have you printed a gun today? Because he is currently printing one as we speak. God bless you and the guns that you print, my G. I appreciate you. Gutted Cheese, great channel member. Appreciate you. And I'm glad that you're here. Glad that you're here. Let's see. Gutted Cheese, Eric Stockbridge, Gutted Cheese, ADXR 920. Brother, great to see you as well. Just to let you know, we're now at 2,200 and some odd rounds through the XR920 from Shadow Systems. Still zero malfunctions, and it's still running. So I'm just going to keep running it. No cleaning, no oil, no maintenance, no nothing. I'm just going to keep running it, which I know is kind of ridiculous. People are like, but I don't understand why you would ever push it to its limits. You know what I mean? Like, push a gun to its limits, see what it can do. If it can operate in terrible, adverse environments, then it's going to be totally fine in a good environment, condition, whatever. You know what I'm saying? ADXR 920, channel member. Appreciate you, brother. We got Zanti Misfit in the building, brother. Great to see you. Also a channel member and lifetime channel member, Drewski. What it dooski, brother. Great to see you as well. ADXR 920 with a 33-month member chat. Says 3 more months, and that'll be 3 years. Wow, time flies. It does. I mean, it's crazy, bro. I don't even want to talk about the birthday we just celebrated for my little tiny daughter, who's no longer a little tiny daughter, and time is just flying, man. It's crazy. I remember after she was born, when she was like 3 months old, I took her to work, and man, just like feeling like that was just like a couple years ago when I could hold her in one hand like this, like, bro, crazy, man. Time flies, and it's such like a cliche thing to say, like, enjoy the time with your loved ones, spend the time with your loved ones. Because hold up, is my settings oh, never mind, my mic is on. Okay. Anyway, enjoy the time with your loved ones, spend the time with your loved ones, spend focused, purposeful time with your loved ones, because time flies like that. Like, I mean, crazy fast. And you'll never look back at life and be like, man, you know what? I really wish that I looked at more stuff on Instagram when I was with my family. I really wish that I was surfing the web for gun deals when I was with my family. Like, no, dude, it's that time is so important, because it does fly by very fast. So be grateful for the blessings that God has bestowed upon you, and enjoy every moment that you can. Kurt, Drewski, Zanti, ADXR 920, Drewski, Lightning McQueen, Kurt 24, the producer of the show, Blue Curtain Burner, brother, great to see you. Also a channel member. And we got Steve, whoop, great to see you as well, brother. Appreciate you. Also a channel member. Not my name, great to see you as well, my guy. Also a channel member. We know for sure. And here it is. This is where everyone was saying, like, yo, devil in a red dress. Like, what do you think? So yeah, I did it. I did it. Goonbeam, my guy, great to see you as well. So rocking that Goonbeam. If you guys are interested in the brightest flashlights in the world, then yeah, go check them out, bro. I'm telling you, like some of this stuff, low, high. Oh my goodness, dude! Like this, it's the whole room. It just turned it into day. It's insanity. So this is the Maglite Saber, I believe. So yeah, if you go into the description, whoa. If you go into the description, you can use the link, and not only does if you use the link and code dark, not only does it save you money, it also gives a little kickback to the channel, because you came there off of my recommendation. There you go. We love Goonbeam. Honestly, even if you just go there all by your lonesome and just get one of the best flashlights in existence, bro, my man is cranking out some fire. So show him some love. Get the assault flashlight too, man. That thing is fire, straight fire. Let's see. Lightning McQueen, Kurt 24, Lightning McQueen, Mike, you brother, great to see you. Also a channel member, appreciate you. Let's see. Kurt 24, Lightning McQueen, Mike U, Drewski, Kurt 24, Lightning McQueen, Go to Cheese, Blue Curtain Burn. I said what's up to Blue Curtain Burner, right? Brother, great to see you. Let's see. Kurt 24, Lightning McQueen, Zanti Misfit. We said what's up to Zanti. Bill Campuris, brother, great to see you. Also a channel member. Appreciate you. Let's see who else we got. Kurt 24, Bill Campuris, Jova Q, also a moderator. Appreciate you, my guy. Let's see, Mike U. I'm just seeing which channel members I got up in here. Hey, Curb Creeper, brother. Great to see you, man. It's been a minute. I need some hype. Just got home from hospital. Pneumonia sucks. Never had it before, but sure I'll recover. Praise ya, man. Whew, bro. I'm sorry to hear that, man. It's brutal. I've been hit with pneumonia a few times, and it is pretty nasty. Yeah, it's bad. Hope you get better, man, for sure. Prayers to you and your recovery. Fat Rooster, brother, great to see you, man. I got to get back to you on what we're gonna do too. I just, I like the idea of just kind of taking it and, just doing your thing, and then I get surprised when you send it back. Are you talking to me? Are you right-handed? I am, and my right hand is the one that's injured. So that's also why I'm saluting with my left hand, but also because I got this mic stand right here too. But yeah, bro, my right arm is injured, so I need to do something about that. All right, we got to get moving because I got the guest backstage. Let's see: Eric Stockbridge, Joe Q, Drewski, Widadewski, ADX920, John Crump, live, brother. Great to see you. So let's talk about the age of consent. Woof. If you guys have seen a conversation, it's similar to an interrogation. Holy moly. John Crump live is just, man, that was interesting. It was interesting. The Supreme, that's you know what? That's an interesting thing. Wish I trained enough to have that problem, bro. Man, we'll talk about that. Mike McClune, the Goon, brother, great to see you as well. Also a channel member and a moderator. Kurt 24ski, John Crump live, Kurt 24, Joe Vacu. Damn, divorce sucks. It does indeed. Divorce does indeed suck. Tim Hopper, brother, great to see you. Also a channel member. Mike McClune, the Goon, Shooting Gallery, brother, great to see you. Also a channel member. If you haven't, go check out his channel as well. Yeah, and for all of y'all, as I'm seeing Demo Man, and you've been staying on me too, and I appreciate you. Being sick over the last few days just added a whole nother thing to being delayed with the giveaway stuff, man. This has been, I know I've been bad sometimes, right? But this is bad. It's been over a month. I'm so sorry. I'll get everything out. I keep saying as soon as I get caught up with packages, I'll get everything out. It's impossible. I can't get caught up with packages. I just got another like 30 packages out. I go to print and it's like, oh, awesome. And it's great. It's a blessing. Another 30 packages to to print. So it's my bad. I promise. I cross my heart and hope to not die. I'll get them out to you guys ASAP. Mike McClune, the Goon, brother, great to see you. Member for 34 months. Chana member. Kim like. I wish they showed the emojis on the computer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they show it on, if I were to click on it on mobile, it shows. I don't know. But Mike, I appreciate you, brother. Your support has been awesome. Eric Stockbridge, Got a Cheese, Drewski, Not My Name Ski, Eric Stockbridge, Mike McClune, John Crump live with a super duper chat. Remember what I skipped to gone camping with my kid? Yep. Very true. Very true. You are a man of integrity, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate the super chat. Let's go ahead and do this. If I missed any other channel members, I'll come back to you. Drew, Kurt 24, Mike McClune, Lightning McQueen, Good at Cheese. I know we got a lot of duplicates here. Not My Name, Good at Cheese. Kurt 24, Tim Hopper. All right, beautiful. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you see in the chat here in the title, then you already know who the guest of honor is. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've heard of Fat Tack, if you've heard of Black Diamond Guns and Gear, if you're familiar with the famous if you're familiar with the famous Fat Tack holsters, then you know that our guest of honor this evening is the one, the only Black Diamond Josh.
Hey guys.
Hyman. I didn't know the echo was still on. Hyman, how are
Hyman.
you?
Hey.
Welcome, man. Welcome. Thanks for
What's going
coming
on?
on. Appreciate you, man.
Not a problem. Not a problem. I'm glad you
Yes.
did it tonight.
Yeah, you and I talked and I was like, bro, I'm literally about to not do this, but
No.
I'm glad I did. And honestly, there's been so much going on. It's like I gotta sometimes it's just good to talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I knew that was gonna sound weird coming out like that. Like sometimes it's just good to talk to my peeps, but for real, it's good to talk. And if I go too long without having a conversation with the homies, all the viewers, which we both have incredible viewers, great community, I kind of feel like left out. So but bringing you on now, only like after 20 minutes of waiting. Sorry about that, but if you would, please let everyone know who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
Oh, you know who it is. Black Diamond Guns and Gear on YouTube. Black Diamond Guns and Gear on Rumble. I don't put anything up on YouTube anymore, hardly ever.
Mhm.
If it is, it's shorts more than anything, but it's just to push people to my Rumble account because I have been doing so much over on Rumble and growing so big on Rumble that
Mhm.
you just can't
It's the
deny.
spot. It's the
Yeah, it
spot,
really is.
dude. I don't know for all the viewers out there, if you guys have seen, Josh has been crushing it on Rumble. And, I started doing shows over there, doing more shows over there. My last show, did you see how many views my last show got over there?
Oh yeah, I did. Well, I haven't recently looked at it, but I saw it the last time I looked at it.
Last time I looked, I'll usually get 500 to 1,000 views. And honestly, that's like more recent over here, right? On YouTube, I'll get, 2 to 400 to 500. And then
Yeah.
over the last like few months, I started getting like 500 to 1,000. I usually keep like 80 to 100 people in the chat. And then after a stream is gone for like 24 hours, I'll get like 500 to 1,000 views, depending on the topic, the guests, and all that.
Right.
Uh, Going over to Rumble, it was like 1,000 views, 2,000 views, 3,000 views. And I was like, dang, that's
Yeah.
crazy. My last show got over 50,000 views.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
what? Like, that is insane. And the views on Rumble are totally different. You're actually getting people bought in that want to be engaging in firearm content. It is
Yeah.
a completely different crowd. So man, I'm all about it. I think it's awesome.
It's
And
it's just
yeah.
that over there they like gun people. They like gun content. They like 2A
Mhm.
friendly stuff. YouTube doesn't like that. So I mean, the way I look at it is why stick to a platform that literally hates you?
Yep.
Why not go to a platform that actually likes you doing stuff over there? So
Yeah. Oh, this is a good question.
newsflash. Put the stuff in front of people that want to see it. They actually watch it. Hey.
Yeah, right. Isn't that crazy? It's
Yeah.
almost like you don't have to make crazy, clicky baity thumbnails and all this dumb stuff
For
just
real.
to like bait people in just to look. And then maybe if you
Yeah.
look, maybe you'll like it and want to stick around and stay. And maybe if you get enough value, you might want to click on dude, completely different
It really is.
crowd. It usually most of the people that I see, it's like very people that are based kind of on the similar principles as us, like freedom, liberty, independence, and all that. So that's
Yep.
yeah, thinking impaired. It is 50,000. That is really impressive, bro. I couldn't believe it when I had like my boys sending me screenshots like, yo, did you see this? I'm like, oh, I was like, yeah, I saw it. It hit 5,000. They're like, no, it hit 10. And then people are sending me screenshots like 15, 20, 22, 25, 40, 50. I'm like, yo, that
So
is
you
insane.
have to decide on how many you're going to do over there versus over here. I know that you do them 3 times a week over here, but you have to decide like how
Yeah.
many you going to do over there, how many you going to do over here. Are the people from here, are they going to go and watch you over there? Everybody that's in
Yeah.
the chat right now should be going over there and supporting them over there is what you should be doing.
So I think honestly, good question. Actually, Kurt asked, can I post Rumble links in YouTube?
Yes.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, I think you can.
they'll probably, hit me with a yellow dollar sign, but I'm fine with that. Like I don't expect okay, so for the streams, like even though the streams are monetized, everything is monetized until they say no. So yeah, you can go ahead and do it just to, show some other people like where to go on Rumble. And Josh, you're right. This is an excellent point. Like I don't want to take away from the people that are
Right.
only on YouTube, only going to stay on YouTube. Dude, it took me like years to go on Rumble. You know what I mean? So,
Well, I mean, the thing is that Rumble has changed now in the direction of, hey, we want gun content. Before it was kind of like all political, and a lot of it still is political. But they are switching to the point to where we want gun content, and we want gun content creators to come over here and make a channel and start doing stuff over here.
yeah,
So when they see that, and they see that people are doing stuff, and they see that people got a following, and see that people actually want to see them talk, they
yeah,
put them up. And which is, for instance, what's happening with us. And I think that,
yeah,
man, I think that if you like this kind of content, don't give your time and money to a platform that doesn't like you.
yeah. Well, and also like over there, we actually get to show firearms, handle
Yes.
firearms. It's like we could show,
Literally
honestly,
take something apart, right in the camera,
yep,
whatever.
put something back together, show people like how to assemble things.
Yeah.
We could literally build an entire piety on,
We could do a stream where we build something and show you how to do it.
Mhm. There might have been a stream of me completing a P80 on YouTube up until like a little bit ago. And I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, I need to pull that down." But at that time it wasn't like a no-no,
Mhm.
and it was like a 4-hour stream. So it's like I don't think
You
there's
know, and the fact that people are like, "Oh, well, nobody's using Rumble." That's not true, man. That is not true. If you can put up a live stream and get 50,000 people to watch it,
yeah.
people are using Rumble. The thing is,
Yeah.
you just have to be willing to go somewhere where you're not used to going to. And
Mhm.
I stopped going there, or I didn't go there for a long time once I downloaded it. I downloaded it because it was like, oh, this is the conservative place to be or whatever. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll support that, see what's happening. And when I
Mhm.
got over there, it was like all political. Everything was political. Even the bubbles up top where your like main stuff was completely political. But now
All of it, yeah.
they're going toward a gun content stuff, and they're going to actually put a bubble up top where they say, this is firearm stuff. If anybody wants to, just watch firearm stuff, it's right here, bam, right up top.
That's
So you can
dope.
click on it, see all your stuff. So they're doing a lot in the 2A space for sure.
K Bowers says, my only problem with Rumble is some stuff is hard to find. Well, that and it
It's not going
seems
to be.
clunky. So it is, they are working on getting better. Hey, Gort, Chanamemba, great to see you. So a couple things. I have issues when I'm watching where on Rumble, it'll just stop and freeze, and I'll have to exit out, come back in, and it restarts at the beginning. I'm like, dude, this is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Or I'll cast it onto a TV and I'll start watching it on TV and the phone will still be playing. And I'm like, dude, but on the TV, it casts at the beginning, but I could be halfway through it. So there's some little
Yeah.
things that, but look, I mean, think of like the at least decade that YouTube has over them, right? Like
Yeah.
the fact that it has grown to this point in this amount of time is actually pretty impressive. So we do have to, show them some love for that, and they're only going to get better. And by the way, Rumble also isn't funded supplementally by the United States government, so that's also going to slow them down a bit. Unlike Alphabet,
They're
aka
easily 10
YouTube and
years
Google.
behind YouTube,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, when it
Mhm.
comes to algorithm and everything. So this is the thing, when you go to Rumble, you actually have to find the person that you want to watch and literally follow them. Because if you
Yeah.
don't, you're not going to find them. You
Yep.
have to follow them, otherwise it's not going to happen. So it's not an algorithmic thing. They just don't have that over there. It's
Yeah.
literally
There is no
100%
algorithm.
organic.
Hmm. Yeah, which is kind of dope. Tactical Muffin Top, good to see you, bro. Appreciate you coming
Yeah.
in. Everyone else that came in too, sorry if I didn't hit you yet. Live Life, Damian Christ, Jason Shell, testing, 1, 2, 3. K Burrs, appreciate y'all. Agarizer, brother, great to see you. Also, Chenamemba, all you guys, man, thank you so much. Oh, and Kurt dropped the links there
Tactical Muffin
for
Top. What's up, man?
Tactical Muffin Top. They have a marketplace style set. Okay, so Live Life mentioned, has anyone other than me checked out Trigger Hill? I had just recently heard about it.
Heard about
More
it.
feds. Yeah, I just recently heard about it, but I've not actually like checked
Haven't
it
either.
out yet. Yeah,
Who I saw somebody who was
Clint
saying
was Clint was recently talking about Trigger
Yeah,
Hill.
I think that's
Yeah.
what it was. Yeah.
I'm sure some other people have been too. I haven't checked it out yet, but I mean, look, anything that is, I mean, truly a potential for the future of like a place to have these conversations that are truly, and I mean like genuinely and authentically focused on free speech and that are believers in natural rights that like that's it, whether it's firearms or free speech or whatever, right? Like it's those are the places to have those conversations. So I'm all about that, and I'll support Rumble. And I didn't want people thinking that like, oh, he's going over to Rumble because he got all gassed up because he got 50,000 views. Like, no, if that were the case, I would have been right back the next day and right back the next day and right, like so on and so on. So I mean, I will come back, but like you were saying, Josh, I really do need to determine a schedule and say, okay, so Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is going to be on YouTube, and maybe Sunday,
The thing is,
Wednesday.
with your followers, you got to understand,
Friday?
like it's an app just like YouTube is. You literally just have to download it and follow somebody. You'll be able to see it over there too. Like it's not
Yeah.
rocket science. You know what I'm saying? Like they can do it if they would like to support you. That's what they should do, in my opinion.
Yeah. Gin Chant, brother, great to see you. Dark's drinking Truly. I definitely do not drink Truly. It's seltzer. It's cheap store brand seltzer. I actually don't really drink alcohol. I think the only alcohol I had last year was on the New Year's Eve stream when we did a toast. And I think that was the only alcohol I had in 2024 for real.
I don't think I've drank in like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I never was a drinker before. When I would drink, it was socially for sure. Like it wasn't because I liked the taste of it. I never really have. So
Yeah, I just
it
like
was never hard for me not to. It was never hard for me to quit. Is what I'm saying, because I never really liked it anyway.
Yeah, I just liked all the other stuff that came with the drinking, like the
The social part of it.
barbecue.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, social. That's what I meant. Well, to jump into it real quick, I just want to say this, guys. I'm Dark with DLD After Dark. We do a live show on YouTube Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, usually around 10, sometimes 10:30, sometimes 11, like tonight. And I own DLD Hardware. I also own Definition Knives. Co-own that with Flying Rich. And if you guys are looking for some super dope knives, man, Definition Knives is working on launch 2. Dude, we have some great stuff coming out. I mean, everything from launch 1 has been incredible. These have been super solid. And out of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of knives that we've sold, do you know how many have come back for warranty?
None.
0.
Hey,
and
that my buddy T Carp, he actually bought one. You didn't send it to him. He bought it.
And
he just did a review on his Instagram and stuff about it. And he was like, man, it blows me away. He was like,
I saw that.
Yeah.
Dude, that was super cool. And I honestly, I didn't expect, I know he has YouTube and Instagram and all that. I didn't expect, him to post it like that. So that's awesome. I'm glad he did. And seems like a good dude. I followed him back on IG today and hit him with a like bomb. But yeah, check out Definition Knives, also DLD Hardware if you're in the building arena of things, if you enjoy building things like PPAs and stuff like that. And also, as soon as we get like launch 2 out and get all of this good and we're refilling from launch 1, we do still have everything but co-pilots. They're sold out. We're going to be we'll re-up on the co-pilot soon as we launch 2. We're going to have a bunch of new stuff and maybe even a definition drop, which is going to be a super dope custom knife that we're working on. But also, as I get into once like launch 2 is done, and as I get into having a little bit more free time, if there is such a thing, I'm going to be adding some more products to DLD Hardware as well, Glock related stuff, slides, sights. I'm working on some connections with some really, really, really nice steel sights, tritium sights, slides, magwells, like just more stuff for people that are that are out there building. And I'm thinking of doing, so you and I talked today, and we can also have a conversation today about the um
Oh,
you're coming out with a video, and we were talking about the porting of 9 millimeter pistols and what some of the benefits are. And usually that's at least several $100s
yeah.
to get a Radiant Afterburner, three, four
Oh
hundred
yeah.
bucks, or to get some of these other options like Marconi. Dude, Marconi has an excellent option as well. It's actually kind of, in my opinion, a little bit more value for the money. Uh, but I also found an option that I'm going to be putting to the test myself. That instead of spending 3 or 400 bucks, um, it could reduce the recoil of your 9 millimeter Glock by like an average of 21% based on the data that I currently have. So an average of 21%. So you're shooting way flatter, way faster, way more accurately, and it is a $59 piece of equipment to add to your Glock.
I
So
wouldn't mind trying that, man. I really would.
yeah, dude, I think maybe we should each pick one up and just kind of see,
Yeah.
if it's worth it. Because there's a whole bunch of other stuff I'd like to look into on it. But um, yeah, do you want to hit that before we get into the money makes the world go?
Again,
Evil
I pulled up a video. It's literally just part of it. And if you
Let's
want to
do it.
see it.
Yeah.
So here it's the comparison between the comp of the Radiant Afterburner Ramjet barrel and the regular Glock 45.
Okay.
On.
All right, so my turn now. We have the Glock 40.
It stays flatter longer.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's so okay. Now he has that Radiant out. So he not only has the
Oh, yeah.
Radiant Afterburner,
and then
he also
one
has the Radiant RMR guard on it as
Yeah.
well.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Steve, Mr. Big Kid, if y'all want to go subscribe to his channel also.
Yeah, definitely
he's
do.
doing Rumble and YouTube and all that stuff too. But yeah,
Yeah.
he shoots it. And we compare basically where he does a whole thing and I do a whole thing. That way we can, it's not just some one person's grip. Like we're trying to figure out if it actually works good with both people. And you can actually tell, look how flat it still stays. It's
Yeah.
basically in one spot. I mean,
I like
and then
Goombe's
I am
comment.
ripping fat tack holsters.
Hey, that's my holster right there, bro.
Yeah.
What? Dude,
Oh
the
yeah,
poppy is
dude, check
the
this out.
war.
I basically do a shot timer, and I don't ever do shot timers.
Oh, really?
Woo! That was pretty quick.
That was a
Yeah,
bill and a
10
half.
round
bill.
mag dump. 304. Now I don't know if you can tell your splits and stuff on here. Oh yeah, splits 10.
Oh, and that
0.10 on your
That's the
split.
Shooters Global.
Dude,
That
it is
is the
rad.
shot timer, dude. I'm telling
it.
you,
That tack
that's
draw
why I have
with a 1
tennis
second
elbow
draw.
right now.
It ain't gonna be 1 second, but it might be close. Who knows? Okay, here we
One and
go.
a
Draw it
quarter.
out of the fat tack holster.
I can't remember what I'm doing. I don't know if it's one or if it's multiple. I can't remember. See, I'm a big guy, and I can appendix carry and shoot out really quick.
1.28, guys.
Dude,
1.28.
I called that. I was like 1.25. So
1.28.
Not bad for inside the waistband.
Inside the waistband.
Pretty fast.
dude, that is
Fat.
sub 2 is a professional standard. Sub 2 is the standard. Sub 1.5 is the professional standard. 1.25 and below is like elite level. That's sub 1 second is
Oh, I missed
just
my freaking draw.
It was
missed
1 and 1 and 1/8, like 8 on the other one.
Yeah.
But it was pretty flat though. I ain't gonna lie. Like you could definitely tell a difference. And that the regular Glock 45 that I have does not have the performance trigger in it or anything like that. But I did have one, and I put it in a Glock 26, and I actually am going to test that out too. But this video will come out on Rumble on Saturday, so it's a whole the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, my opinion on it, if you want to know my opinion on it now, it works really
Flying
well.
Rich. Yeah, I've been curious about it because I did see some folks writing about it. Flying Rich, good to see you, bud. Appreciate you coming in. G23, what's up, bud?
Hey, that shirt's on Fat Tech, by the way.
What's that?
Eric said he liked that shirt, and I said it's on Fat Tech.
Oh yeah, that is a dope shirt. So pay, shift, work. Sorry, but that looks like OTW on the single shot.
OTW. What's OTW mean?
On the way.
On the way. That is what that means, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Out the waistband?
Outside the waistband. I mean, usually that's OWB.
Yeah. I don't know. Wait, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Someone's talking about some of the foreman position is supposed to be 3 p.m. to 11:30. So there's a whole bunch of side conversations going on. So sorry, I get sidetracked.
Yeah, ADD. Squirrel.
Yeah, too many squirrels. But yeah, so getting back to it, I've been curious about the Radiant Afterburner for a while. Okay, let me back up a little bit. When it comes to
over the winky,
over the winky, when it comes to looks, bro, just the look of the Radiant Afterburner is like remarkable. It is beautiful. If you ever had one bite you, if you manipulate the slide from the front, you will never do that again because it bites, and it bites hard, and it's ouchy. So just keep that in mind.
I'm usually not on the team of working my stuff from the business end. I usually don't. I mean, I'm not saying I won't ever, but I usually don't.
So usually I don't as well. It was in an environment in a gun shop, and I was just kind of talking with somebody while I was casually just pulling the slide back to rack it back to hand it back over, and I did it from the front serrations, and it was like bink. I was like, oh, hello. Now, but usually though, when I'm like running the gun, I'll usually put my fist to the red dot and just rack it because it's very similar to grabbing the back of the slide and slingshotting it. So I want to have as much consistency across the board as possible. Same thing if I'm grabbing the mag and running the slide, it's always a fist.
Rack it off a table is what I try to do.
You could do that too,
I don't, but
too many choices. Well, you can do it with that Ramjet doohickey on the RMR. That thing is
pretty rad too. It's pretty cool. I don't have one. He had it, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Dude, just those two things right there, that is the cost of another Glock MOS.
It really is.
It is.
I don't know how. I know the Ramjet and the Afterburner was like almost $350.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how much
it's like four.
That thing's $400.
It's like 440, something like that.
Wow, yeah.
It's kind of crazy because it is an MOS plate, and it's steel guard for, I believe it's steel.
It is.
It is steel, or is it aluminum?
No, I'm pretty sure it's steel.
Yeah, I think it's steel, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody's probably going to correct me. No, Dark, they're $399, and they're 4140 chromoly steel. They might be, but yeah, I mean, I would love, like, just from the looks alone, I think they're incredible.
Yeah.
As far as the performance, the thing that kind of stopped me from even exploring it at all is I would use it for a defensive handgun, right? I would use it for the gun that I'm going to carry inside my waistband. And I started looking into it, and I saw, like, randomly someone was like, I started, as soon as I installed the Ramjet, I went to the range and I started running, a bunch of different kinds of ammo, and my gun stopped working with 124 grain, or my gun stopped running 115 grain, or I can't run 135 or 147, or there were just these crazy incidents where their guns that they would always run it before, it just stopped running one particular weight of ammo. And I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I want to, like, what if I get mine and I can no longer shoot 115 grain, and I got 10,000 rounds of 115 grain sitting here?
Well, when we went and did it, I think we shot because we did it off camera too, like we were just playing around with it and stuff. And I think we shot right around 500 rounds through a mixture of his ammo and my ammo because we're doing it together. And I'm pretty sure I had all MagTech steel case 115 grain, and it ran like it was nothing. So I mean,
Nice.
I don't know what he had. I don't know if it was like federal or what, but basically it was. I know it was target loads because we didn't put any self defense ammo through it, and it was. I'm pretty sure it was 115 is also. So
Yeah.
I can't tell you about the 124 or anything else, but that would be a good thing to test though for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to do another video on, maybe I don't know, a couple hundred rounds of
Yeah,
115, then 124, then 147,
that would
135,
be a good one.
157, 158, shooting like the super heavy rounds.
Yeah,
Yeah, so Too Many Choices says change the spring and call it good. Then you're chasing the dragon though. So that's another thing is if you read through it and mostly look, most of this stuff is like on Reddit and on forums, and I'm like, well, they could just be tards, right? Like they could just be like holding it like this, just like look, when most people say their Glocks are having malfunctions, one of two things: A, they're shooting it incorrectly, or
yeah,
B, they've done so much ridiculous stuff to it that they've taken the perfection out of the Glock. Like they've done so many ridiculous things. Armsman, brother, great to see you. Um, no chasing the dragon. Yes, don't do that. But yeah, I think it's excellent. I think that Ramjet is long. Let me say it differently. I think it's excellent if it does work with all standard ammunition. And if anyone out there has a Radiant Ramjet on their Glock and they've run everything with okay, so yes, right? I know we joke and I say this all the time. I'm like, oh, why do you need a ramjet? So you can tame the crazy recoil of a 9mm. But I'll tell you what, that ported Gen 545 that I run, dog, I watched a video of it. It literally is not moving at
yeah.
all. The
If you
slide
can do
looks like a
whatever you
sewing
can do
machine.
to help it, like there's no reason not to. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't make sense. Now I will say this, like I agree to a certain extent, like keep it simple, stupid, keep it stock, stupid,
Mhm.
like, don't mess with it, just buy it, keep putting, put it in your holster, be done with it. I
Yeah.
agree with that for the most part. But man, some of this stuff just shoots so flat that you can't
Dude,
argue with how precise you can actually get it.
yeah.
Like in a fast motion, like if you had to pull it up and dump rounds as fast as possible, that's
Mhm.
going right there because you're doing it like
And
so.
it's like this. It's like, yo, that thing did not even move. And it's funny because I don't even think that I realized, obviously, when I started shooting the Gen 545 that I got that's ported, it's got 4 ports up top and it's cool, it's fun, it's great, it's loud, it throws big fireballs and all that, which honestly I'm not a fan of. I was literally about to change out the barrel. And then I noticed like everyone else that shot it was like, yo, let me look at those ports. Let me do that. Then all of them started getting ported handguns. And I'm like, all right, let me spend a little bit more time with this. So I went back to my other guns, started shooting my shadow systems again, started shooting some of the other Gen 545s I have, 17s, 19s. And I'm like, dude, I because I was shooting it for a while, I didn't even realize like the benefits that I was receiving from the
Yeah.
ports. Dude, it's first off just the weight reduction alone from the machining of the 4 spots on the slide that's going to reduce the weight of the slide reciprocation and mass and all that.
And who did
Um,
that?
it came like that. I
Oh,
literally bought so I came across this crazy deal. I had a Battlefield Green Gen 545 frame that I bought like by itself, and it did have the LPK installed and came with 3 Battlefield Green Glock mags that I love that the look, the color and all that. So I was like, I need to find a Gen 5 45 slide or a 19 slide, and I was cruising eBay and I see this slide and it's someone that's it's an auction. It's not like a buy it now thing. So I see it and it's sitting at like $300. And I'm like, yo, but the Holosun SCS by itself is like 350, 379, 3 it's like something like that, right?
yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let me watch this auction because this is
Oh, it
a
came on it?
Yes, dude. This is why it was such a crazy deal, because it was a Gen 5 45 slide with the custom porting in the barrel and the machining in the slide, and the black multicam Cerakote, and the all OEM parts, untouched OEM parts otherwise, and the Holosun SCS installed. The dude said he's sighted in 36 yards.
Hmm.
And I was like, let me keep an eye on this auction. So days and days and days go by, like 3-4 days go by, and it's still at like 3:30 or something like that. So at the last like 20 seconds, I come in and I boop, I booped it to like 350. And then I was like, you know what, just to be safe, like, I'm trying to think of, like, let me push it just past it, like 375. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna do 375, so I think I did like 390 or something like that. I
Yeah.
literally won that thing at like 393 or something like that.
I didn't know that they could sell stuff like that on eBay.
Oh yeah, dude, I have built more guns off of eBay than probably anything else I've purchased.
Nice.
But also the market has been totally destroyed by SOTs and FFLs buying Glocks, breaking them down, and then they're selling just the slide, just the complete slide on eBay for like $5.99.
Whoa.
Because one of the reasons they're doing that is because lots of dudes that are building from like maybe an unserialized frame or whatever, they can't just go buy a Glock, or they may not be able to go get other parts somewhere else. OEM has kind of become king, so they're like, dude, OEM demands a premium. Sell a complete slide for like $4.99 to $5.99. Dude, it's insane.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine paying that much for just an MOS slide.
That's a lot,
So,
man. That is definitely a lot. But I didn't know they did that. That's pretty cool. I'll have to go in there and look around and see what I can find.
dude, it's all in the hidden places of eBay where it's just dudes selling stuff. Because if it's all companies, they're going to get every single dollar that they can. But
Yeah.
when it's just a dude that's like, hey, I ran this, I don't want it anymore. He said he only had a few hundred rounds through it after he got it ported. And I was like, done, I'll take it.
If you're looking for AR parts, like lower parts kits and stuff like that, like where would you go to find just extra stuff to keep around? Because Josh had a bunch, and it was just like stuff. He just had them in like bins, like in this little thing that he had at his house, and he just had extra parts. And I think I want to get to the point where I have extra stuff just in case something goes wrong. I mean,
So
I have a little bit, but I don't have a lot, and I want a lot.
So it depends. So a couple things real quick. I got parts for everything you could think of laying around. And then I also have Glock parts,
Right.
for every single thing. Dang, hold on. Let me get it. This is probably an easier way. So like, all like mag releases, rails, back plates,
Yeah.
springs, like everything like that. And just kind of like as I've been collecting stuff over the years, it's just like, I'm gonna kind of organize stuff. If I were to depending on what I want, if I'm building something, I'm going to go somewhere specific for specific stuff. Like if I wanted to do something like guys like Super Duty, then I'm going to go to like maybe Primary Arms to get the Ultra Duty lower parts kit, or
I
I'm
just
going to
feel like
go
surplus stuff that you could have a lot of just in case. Like
honestly.
say you lose a spring, it pops out and you need another one. Like
The most affordable stuff to keep on hand that like you may end up using in your battle rifle if something goes down is CMMG parts.
Yeah.
Or BCM parts, because that is the best two places that machine very, very high quality stuff that is extremely affordable. And if you're putting CMMG in your gun or BCM in your gun, that you are like 100% good to go, no question.
Yeah.
Whether it's a range gun or
I have bought
important
like 4 or 5 like extra parts kits that are CMMG parts kits, and that's the reason why, because I knew that they make good stuff, and and I knew that I could have them around and it wouldn't be a big deal. So I do have a couple of those, but I wanted to get like a bulk order of
I
stuff.
did get a bunch of these too. Anderson,
I've had theirs.
the Oops kits. Yeah, those are great. Dude, the Anderson LPKs, I think I actually kept the. I wanted to show you guys. Hold on. Do I have one still? I don't know. Oh yeah, I do. Hold up. So check this out. It's so funny. I kept this because I was like, dude, I need to show these guys. So the Anderson kits, excuse me, they come in a little package like this, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And then they have two packs slid in right like this, and every single thing is in like their perfect little compartment, and they got like the clamshell opening, right? So
Yeah.
it's just like they're just perfect little like tuck away spots that are made exactly for it. It was perfect. So shout out to Anderson. And also I don't get anything for this. It's only for you guys. If you use code DARK on Anderson, you save stuff. So let me just say that. C-Man, brother, great to see you as well. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Red Dawn in the building. Red Dawn, brother, great to see you as well. But yeah,
The reason why I'm talking about that is because I just built my first AR ever.
nice.
And
Like
I
from the ground up.
ground up. And see, like Josh was always on the channel with me, so he's the one that knew how to do all that stuff. I never really did that. First of all, I'm not into it. Like it's not something I want to do because I'm not a put together type of guy. I just, when it comes to anything, furniture, whatever, like I get mad and throw it across the room. I do not like it. Do not have the patience to build stuff. It's just not in me. But I did put one together because I realized that, you know, if he's not around or whatever, then I have to know how to do this just in case something goes wrong, something goes down. I need to know how to fix it. So that's why I put it together. And now that I know that I can do it and it's not that big a deal, I'm just like, well, now I need a bunch of parts just because.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I mean, definitely having the parts available because look, if something goes down, it's going to be something small and stupid, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I would recommend anyone that has an AR that's like in like we say like duty grade, but like let's say for civilians, like field grade, right? Like it is a like work gun that you could literally like trust with your life. Having an extra BCM carrier and bolt just like on standby somewhere close, or at least a decent one. I would BCM has proven itself like, I mean, it's the best couple $100 two and some change that you could spend for a bolt carrier group, especially being that like, dude, I mean, even the CAC BCGs are, you know, almost $200, or some of them are more. So, yeah, BCM is totally worth the money. The Geisley BCGs are incredible, but those are like $389 or something like that. But those are like lifelong BCGs, and usually it's going to be like gas tubes, gas rings, you know, something that's like small and insignificant, but very significant for the for the rifle or pistol. Real quick, John Crump Live, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. I appreciate you. He says, check your text next Thursday's live stream. So do you want me to show what it is, or do you want me to not show what it is?
And also, is that like 2 days from now, or is that like next Thursday?
So Tuesday. So it'd be next Tuesday. So okay. So it's 2A lawyer talk, and it is Mark Victor from Attorneys on Retainer and Fudbusters. See, I thought you were going to get like Steven Stambolier or like one of the GOA attorneys to come on. When you were like, you know what, I have somebody, you know, in mind or whatever. That's kind of what I thought, the direction I thought you were going. But that's going to be a very interesting live show.
What's it about? I'm not in the loop.
So he did a show today, and on the show today he had Mark Victor of Attorneys on Retainer come on, and you know he was
There's been some stuff going around about him, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I think first I want to say, Crump, you were kind of vicious on that on that.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I didn't even see it.
It was an interesting interrogation. I mean, interview. That's, but that's Crump, right? Crump doesn't have that bone in his body where it's like, oh, this person I'm talking to might be uncomfortable, right? He just doesn't, have that, and that's why we love him, because he's very direct and very like, straightforward, and he doesn't take a moment to stop and think what that person might be feeling. Which, and Crump, I'm not throwing any shade. I'm saying, we love you. Um, they don't have time for that. I know, but that's kind of the place I was thinking, that you were coming from. But anyway, attorneys on retainer did this video, and they were talking about stuff to a related, and they were saying things like, communities, essentially like an HOA, should be able to determine, should be able to restrict your rights about firearms if it may possibly hurt someone else.
Mm.
So this company that is saying that they're going to basically stand in for all things holy, for USCCA, for right to bear, for these this membership based stuff, for being represented. They're saying, hey, we're gonna offer services for membership for, in any situation. If you get into a defensive shooting, even if you weren't allowed to have a gun, even
Mm.
if you were intoxicated, even if you used an illegal firearm, even if you were a felon in possession of, even if you were, and it makes sense because they're not an insurance company, they are attorneys. So
Mhm.
attorneys, it shouldn't care about, they have, if there is a relationship of the person hiring the attorney, they are bound ethically to defend you, period,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, it makes sense. I realize that they're advertising that as a service, which would be a benefit, if someone used an illegal unregistered machine gun to defend themselves, and they'd be in some hot water, but this would give them membership to get an attorney. Um, and to be fair, it is an entire team of attorneys where they could just boom come and support you, like, and defend you right away. So it is cool, and I was actually considering signing up. I've never used any carry insurance ever.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna interrupt you.
And I
I
know,
have
and
used US Law Shield for the past I've been a member of theirs since for 8 years, and I was a member of them before I was even a YouTube channel. And when I became a YouTube channel, they were like one of my first sponsors, and they sponsored me by giving me a membership. That's all they sponsor. That's only the way they sponsor me.
Mhm.
And so they were the first ones to do the lawyer thing. Like, and in certain states, it doesn't matter what it is. In certain states, it's considered insurance in certain states,
Mhm.
because that's the way it has to be or whatever by law for whatever reason. But for
Yeah,
the most
yeah.
part, they are a lawyer, and they say that they will cover you, um, no matter what you use. It could be your fist, it could be a knife, it could be your car hitting somebody because they're threatening you. Like, it doesn't matter as long as you were
Mhm.
acting in self defense, they'll cover you. And theirs is only $10.95 a month, and it literally covers you an unlimited amount of money for civil and criminal court. Like, they did it before attorneys on a retainer ever even thought about doing it. They've been doing it forever,
Mhm.
and they just didn't. They just basically covered my court case. I physically have used them before. They are my attorneys.
Yeah.
I literally use them in my court case, and they do what they say they're going to do. They actually pick you up, and they actually do, cover you. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they are straight up 100% 2A.
Yeah. So I don't watch Focus Trips, so I don't know anything about that. But so I talked to a couple people. One of them was a member of my family who's also a member of Attorneys on Retainer, and I was like, man, I would really go recommend watching Crump's video on this. This is before the stream. He did another video on it, and it's really interesting to see an attorney saying, yeah, we should allow. And he didn't say this exactly, but the sentiment that I walked away with was, um, basically HOAs and or communities should be able to demand safe storage, and the moment that you give anyone rights to you know encroach on your rights, then they'll always you know uh give them an inch, take a mile. They'll always up it a notch. They'll always increase the you know the restrictions, and that's just I would never want that. And he gave the example of, well, if someone leaves a full auto, 50 caliber belt fed machine gun on the table in front of an 8-year-old, we can all agree that we don't think that should be allowed. And Crump is like, no, I don't agree. Like, this isn't pre-crime stuff. Like, we're not saying like, well, something could happen. It's like, well, it's not if something could happen. It's just something. It's like that's like saying like, okay, so we're going to restrict you angling your foot towards an accelerator in a particular direction because something could happen. It's ridiculous, and they also said a bunch of stuff like you can't yell fire in a crowded theater, and you can't. They were just saying things that were just not. It's not the flex that they thought it was, and
Yeah.
I think it was not a good look. And
there's a bunch of YouTubers, larger YouTubers, arguing about this exact same thing between
Right now.
USCCA and attorneys on retainer.
That's why Crump did this to talk about the beef without talking about the beef per se,
Yeah.
but to get some of the details out in the open. And
Yeah.
anyone that thinks anyone has any say in any restriction of any God-given rights is nope. But also at the same time, the person, and not to cut you, I'll just add this one thing. The person that I spoke with also said, yes, but remember that just because you and your attorney disagree on some things fundamentally does not mean that they are not still ethically bound to defend you point blank, period, whether they agree or not.
Can you read what Tim Harper said up there?
Tim Harper. U.S. Law Shield dropped me, refused to make my bond because I, quote, broke the law. If you're not charged, you don't need insurance. I beat the charges with a private attorney. Yeah, he had an interesting incident occur.
I would like to know the details of that.
Yeah, he's posted all of it. Basically, he was open carrying an AR pistol and First and Second Amendment auditing, and a bunch of police rolled up on him, and they were like, "That's illegal. You can't do that." And it was just this huge thing. And they took his AR pistol that had a binary trigger in it, and they said that it was an illegal SBR machine gun. And it basically took him like, I don't know what, Tim, like a year and a half to get it back, and they still took the binary trigger out because they said it was a machine gun fully auto SBR, which, by the way, a machine gun cannot be an SBR. A machine gun can only be a machine gun, period. Yeah. So, and that was the
law. But I will say this, they do say if you use it in a self-defense situation, and it's a legal weapon in a self-defense situation. So I don't know, maybe because you didn't use it in a self-defense situation, they didn't think that they needed to cover that. I don't know how that works, but
yeah, but your case also wasn't a self-defense situation.
It was not a self-defense situation, and I did bring it to him and say, "Hey, look, I feel like my 2A rights are being trampled on," and they agreed with me that they were. So that's the reason why they covered me. But I don't know. I don't know the details of that. I don't know how that would work. Yeah. I don't know why they would. I don't know why they wouldn't cover you doing that though.
Yeah. I'm not
Important thing is that they didn't, and that's something to be brought up for sure.
Oh, okay. So he's saying the U.S. Law Shield dropped him for a different situation. Dang, Tim Harper, how many situations you been in, son? Yes, that's correct, DLD. I don't know which part you were referring to, but thank you. That makes me feel good, and it provides me with serotonin and stuff. Can I FOIA it, Tim? I think he'd be happy to tell you too. Anyway, so I wanted to have one conversation. The idea of money. Oh, you know what? We can't take it here yet. There's one thing. So we talked about the Radian Ramjet, right? I do think too, for guns like the SIG 365, even though I don't, after learning what we learned about the shake awake trigger and things like that, I don't necessarily think that the three. Yeah, I know the 320s were really the ones that were on trial here, but
I don't
the
know.
dude, the 365, they're all
365 had some bad stuff when they first came out.
well, and beyond that.
Yeah.
So if for anyone out there that has a 365, I would encourage you to do this. Clear the gun completely, remove all ammunition from the area, and after you've, 100% verified that it is clear, take the slide back, put your cute little fingers in the chamber, make sure it's cold, make sure it's clear and safe, and
And
then
sell it.
drop the slide, and then press just a tiny, tiny little hair of pressure onto the trigger, and then shake the gun. Mine went off like nearly immediately. Now I've not been able to replicate that. I've tried to do it another like couple dozen times, and I just gave up
I got one
because
upstairs. I was getting ready to do it, but the one I have is upstairs.
well, if we were on Rumble, we could
That's
do it.
true. Yeah.
But yeah, I've not been able to replicate that. The guy that dropped all the info about the SIG 320 was the one that brought this to my attention, and that's why he called it the Shake Awake trigger. So anyone that's carrying a 365, just please be very aware and please be very vigilant. Check your gun, see if it's safe. If it is not safe, first off, you shouldn't be shaking your gun with any pressure on the trigger at all. But in my mind, that kind of takes the trust away from that piece, which sucks because it's a really, really great gun. It's very small, high capacity. It's great. And I could see something like the Radian Ramjet on that because it's even smaller than like
Well,
a Gen
they have the
5
comp version
45.
of that, though. Don't they have 365 macro comp or whatever?
Yeah. But they also make a Ramjet for the 365 as well.
They're like the original regular 365.
For I think several different kinds.
Cool. I'm not
Yeah.
big on the 365. I'm not really current with their
Yeah.
bunch of stuff they got going on.
Just got done doing 30 to 40 shakes. Nothing. You got to shake it harder. Shake it
Yeah.
harder. I'm just kidding. And I don't think it's every single one. DLD, I'm going to try that. I have 5 variations. Yeah, give it a try. And you may find that maybe only one does it or two. And again, I'm not anti 365. I know I make fun of Rich all the time for carrying a women's
I
gun.
kind of am. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of am anti 365.
Why is that?
They're terrible guns
Why are they terrible guns?
because of reasons that you just stated. First of all, not only that, SIG actually takes their stuff and they basically allow the people that buy their products to test their stuff for them, and that's a terrible way to
Beta
do.
testers. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, there's no way if I was
And
putting out a product.
For me, I can't. This is just for me. I have massive hands, and I do not like the grip on the 365 at all. Now, the larger ones, like I've shot the X Macro, I don't
Mhm.
mind it. I don't
Yeah.
mind it. The fact that it has a trigger that does not have a safety dongle thing in the trigger, I don't like it. It has to have that in order for me to actually like it.
Yeah, but see, even that. So, like, regardless of the amount of safeties, if the internals of a platform have been determined to be untrustworthy, I don't care how many safety features it has, because if the firing pin can still strike the primer, we
True.
got problems, you know?
But you start with your trigger.
Of course. So, okay, but let's give this example. So, and I don't disagree with you at all. Let's say even if let's go back to the SIG 320. If the SIG 320 came out with this new version, with a manual safety, with a beaver tail safety, lemon squeezer safety, whatever you want to call it, and a trigger shoe safety, and whatever, those safeties prevent the trigger from being pulled, right? But they do not prevent the thing that has been causing the discharges to occur. It's
Kinda
the
like
same
we were
thing we
talking about
talked
with
about.
yeah.
Exactly, the 2011s.
Yep.
You got a 2011 with the 70 series trigger, right? And I will say the new staccato HD P4, whatever the Glock staccato.
Glock mag one.
Yeah, the Glock mag staccato. They did do a true firing pin block inside the slide. That I'm all about that, because you cannot take safety and remove it for vanity. Like, ooh, this trigger is so crisp and so smooth, and so It doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
not safe. When you remove safety from the equation for vanity and for a really smooth, crisp trigger pull, that's idiotic. And I'm
Yeah.
seeing these dudes, these guys are literally rocking 2011s, Prodigies, the STIs, staccatos, whatever, in their Safari Land rig, and they're
Mhm.
like go to work rig, and they're not drop safe.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude,
Not
we-
me.
if you get in a fist fight, take a tumble, have to draw your gun, that thing may go off before you even get a chance to draw it.
Yep.
And I'm not saying every 2011. I'm
But
just
most.
saying PSA dagger shoots better than all of them. Honestly, you're from a safety standpoint, you're not wrong, right?
Yeah.
P365 also has an option for a safety. That's also true. Again, if there's still risk that the firing pin can, still strike the cartridge, then there's still issues. I'm not saying that that is always the case. I'm just saying that that's what, the guy was alleging that did the 320 research.
You know what's an awesome proven micro pistol that works all the time usually
What?
and doesn't have any problem? Well, yeah, but Smith & Wesson Shields, Shield Pluses. They're
Yeah.
great. Never had a problem out of those. Never heard of a problem. Anybody having a problem out of it, especially ones with the new triggers in them. Never heard anybody say bad things about it ever.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably great.
And they're small, just like a 365. There's tons of guns out there that are small, just like a 365. 365 is not the only small gun out there that costs
Yeah.
$900.
Well,
Just
people talk about. I'm sorry, guys. People talk about the 365 like it's the 810 Warthog. They're
I don't
like,
get it.
this
I
gun
really
is
don't
built
get it.
around the magazine and all that. I get it. It's cool. It's a very high capacity, small firearm, and that is dope. If you remove safety from the equation, or if you don't test a platform to the point where you identify these things, there's no way, okay, for anyone out there with the SIG 320, there is absolutely no way that SIG did enough testing and did not determine that one over insertion of one magazine would completely bend the ejector completely to the point where the serialized portion of the firearm part of the firearm, would be completely compromised, never to be fixed again, ever. And the only thing you can do is go get a new serialized portion with a new 4473, new background check, and all that. If you guys don't believe me, go look up SIG 320 over insertion. It is a serious problem. P80 Ralph was on the range like a few weeks ago, and he inserted a 20 round mag on the video, and he's not like wham, he doesn't like jam it in there, he just like puts it in there, but they're using their floor plates to prevent over insertion of the magazine. Even the Echelon, exactly, even as opposed to having like a steel piece inside that fire control unit that would stop the magazines or some anything. Even the Echelon, like what you showed, all it did was get stuck in the magazine. Once you pull it out, you could go back, right to shooting right away. When I was watching the video and your slide went back into battery, I was like, oh my goodness, it's not broken. I thought you were saying that it was totally that
it
it was
just
out
gets
of
stuck
commission.
inside the mag, which is also stupid.
Yeah. 9.9 out of 10 chodes with a SIG. Only plink a box a year won't be a problem for them. Woof. Eagle Run 23 or Eagle Run 23. Great to see you, brother, by the way. Appreciate you, man. Also a channel member. Yeah, I mean, look, I got a couple 320s. I got a 365, and I think people are probably going to be like, "Oh, Dark is just a SIG hater." He's just, dude, I got more money in SIGs than most people have in Glocks. I have a lot more in Glocks than I have in other platforms, but just because I'm talking about SIGs like that doesn't mean that I don't have them, that I haven't put money into them. I'm just saying I'm not going to personally carry them. Now, for the dude out there that is like looking at his one SIG 365 and that's the gun that he carries and he's carried it for years and not had any problems, I'm not telling you that you need to sell your gun, trade your gun, or swap it out. I'm just saying, do you, right? But be aware of the claims other people are making that seem to have validity. That's all I'm saying. I got a SIG 320. I have another SIG 320 that I built. I got a SIG 320 that was passed down from my dad when he passed away. I got a SIG 556 SBR. It's like a $2,500 SBR. I got a SIG 716 tread. I got a whole bunch of SIGs. I'm not totally deucing on them. Their classic line, excellent. It is excellent. The classic line of 226s, 229s, and 220s are remarkable. But I also probably wouldn't give money to SIG based off of a lot of the stuff that came out with the investigation of them, engaging in a lot of disgusting criminal activities and, owning a bunch of being connected to a bunch of shell companies where they paid people illegally in foreign countries, sent guns to the wrong people illegally, which we would have been totally fried in federal prison if we did even one of the things that they were caught doing allegedly. So Silverback, brother, great to see you, man. Yeah, DLD, you got that SIG 320 white lower I want. I do, and that is extremely rare. It's actually, I literally have it chilling right over here. But because we're on YouTube and not Rumble, I can't show it right now. But yes, I do have the SIG 320, the white, whatchamacallit, grip module. That thing, it's a factory SIG one. It's pretty rare.
Okay, I want to show you this first.
All right. Oh, my bad. Let's see.
Just so we can compare. G3C.
You lost me. You lost me.
I'm not saying it's a better handgun. I'm saying the size.
Size wise.
This is not the only small pistol out there. Now, this is a Taurus.
We just lost 40 viewers. I'm just kidding.
The thing is that look at the size. This is not the end all be all of pistols. You're looking at 4 1/4, 4 1/2, and you got 6. This one's right at like 6, right below 6. Like, and width alone is literally, this is an inch. This is an inch and less than a quarter, inch and a quarter. So literally, like size wise, it's exactly the same almost. I mean, it's very, very, very small, very, very little difference.
So let me ask you this: this
one has 10 rounds. It was not shipped with 12 round magazines flush like that. The 12 rounder magazines actually sticks out further. This has 12 round magazines right here.
Yeah, that is the straight up stock standard 365.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. All right, now this will be very telling. So let's say all of your inventory was completely procured by tyrants. Okay, you lost every freedom unit that you own. Okay, and you go to your buddy's house and they're like, "All right, Josh, I got a 365 and I got a Taurus G2C. Which one would you like to carry?"
the G2C, honestly.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
Woo!
Absolutely.
Dang.
I would take my chances on that than I would the 365.
Dang. I mean, do they respectfully, do they work?
What, G2Cs?
Yeah.
Yeah, they work.
Yeah.
I have I got a G2C, I got a Millennium PT111, I got a G3, I got a G3C, I got a G3X, I got a GX4, GX22, GX22 competition. I got them all. And
it sounds like to me like you just listed a bunch of motorcycles because I'm not really
dude, they work. They seriously work. Now, I've never carried them. I'm not saying I carry them. I've never carried them. But they do work. Every time I've taken them to the range, they just work. And not only that, it's like, okay, high points are throwaway guns, right? Something that you shoot, and if you have to throw it away, it's not a big deal. G2Cs, G3Cs are that now, and they work better. So, of course, I would pick a 43X over that for sure. But we're talking about dire situation, crappy, and crappier. Which one you picking? I'm picking the one I know that's probably going to work versus the 365 is probably not going to work.
So Eagle Run, he says, I have an old PT 111, never once failed me, and that's how most of the PT 111s are. Period. Right. Most people that
I
I've
wish we were on
spoken with,
Rumble. I'd show you. I show you every one of them.
yeah. So okay, so the people that I've actually engaged in dialogue with, you guys got to remember, going back to like the days when I worked at a gun shop, most of the marketing that was out there was a little online marketing, but then there was the gun magazines. Do you guys remember all the gun magazines?
Yeah.
Handgunner, and when Recoil came out, it was like such a big deal. But like, if you guys remember, there was Josh, I don't even know, you may be able to find it. The release of the Glock 27 was like such a big deal. On the front cover of the magazine, it was a dude's hand, and they made the G27 look like this big, the Glock 27. And it just, you could tell it was like so scaled down, and it made it look so tiny. It was not the truth, right? I want to find, you know what? I'm gonna find that picture. Hold on. I gotta say Glock 27
Hey, check this out.
magazine photo release. Oh man, if I excuse me, if I can find that, see, it's gonna be thousands of like magazine release related things.
All right, here it is.
Is that you?
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
way.
I put this up. It was like 2 years ago or something, 2-3 years ago.
Dude, that's crazy, man. Look how
Let's see.
different you
Let's see
look.
if I can actually see when I put it up. When was it?
You probably have to go in
That
the
was a year ago.
description.
It says it's a year ago. August 17, 2023. So more than a year ago.
Dang.
Anyway, check this out. This is the G3. Okay, so what I was doing, I was comparing the Echelon and everything else, like, and seeing how flat everything shoots. Another flat
It got
shooting video.
45 cents. That's funny.
But check it out. This is a G3C. Check out how flat this thing shoots.
Dude, I
This
want
is
that 290. Sorry.
We have the M&P metal framed.
That one's actually really good too. Let's go with it.
It's not bad.
Just kind of even.
What is that with the RMR and the Surefire? What is it? Is that a Glock?
It's a regular Echelon, just the first one that came out.
Echelon. Okay.
Which one's that? Oh, that's PDP. That one.
Best one.
There's a
in my opinion.
19X.
This is the wild card. Oh, the PDP was a wild card too, because I don't really know. That's not a full size. This is not a full size either. This is technically
okay. Well, Josh, show what you're trying to show
out in the slow motion.
Look how flat that one is.
Dude, 19X is the truth, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, the 19X was the birth of the 10545.
Pretty good. But my point was, I want to show that G3, man. That thing right there was solid too. Like, it didn't move.
Remind me to bring up to what people in the hood are doing and for things to look out for, because people are starting to carry guns differently, and I don't necessarily want to jump into that yet, but it's an important thing to talk about, just so no one gets caught lacking out there. But okay, so out of all the guns, let me go back to the PT 111 real quick. So for anyone out there that has a PT 111 that has been awesome, never failed them, 100% trustworthy, like that was one of the first guns that was a 10+1 45 ACP. Or no, that's the PT 145. The PT 145 and the PT 111 are similar millenniums. I would encourage you guys to take them down, not just field strip, detail strip the gun completely, and look at the tiny little paperclip sized piece of metal that is holding that gun together. Like, there is no way that from a longevity standpoint that gun is going to last forever. Of course, people that have those guns usually get them to shoot a little, carry a lot, so the guns aren't intended to, take the crazy abuse that, like, say a full size Glock is. That is a duty, gun, or a field use gun, right? But if you haven't taken completely detail stripped your PT-111s and PT-145s, please do, because I think it'll give you a different perspective of
I have a
those guns.
PT-111 that I put an aftermarket trigger in.
Really?
Yeah, it's
I
like
didn't know they made those.
somebody made one. I can't remember the company's name. It's been a long time, but he
Mhm.
made one, and it was honestly, it looked almost 3D printed. But it was like just a flat facing trigger that he made for that pistol, and
Yeah.
it's actually pretty cool. I still got it in it.
Yeah. The G23 is fire. You're funny, G23. Even though I'm a CZ whore, I got to say I'm enjoying the modified 19X. Dude, the balance of the full size grip with the shorter muzzle,
Absolutely.
the control. That's why I always shoot 17s just crazy well. But I mean, I love 19s, but I would prefer a 19X sized gun, or
Yeah,
like the Gen
for sure.
545. Yeah.
But then you got to think about this too. If you are carrying that thing, is it hindering your ability to put other magazines in it? Like,
Sure.
is it hindering
Yeah.
your ability to put a 19, maybe even a 10 or a 12 rounder? For sure.
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
that's
And
why I personally think that the 26 is absolutely the optimal.
it depends on what you're trying to go for, right? Because I would be willing to almost guarantee, I'd be willing to probably bet money on it, that you would not be able to get the same exact time drawing a Gen 545 or a 19 versus drawing a 26 out of your waistband.
Unless you have an X grip that has a 17 round magazine in it.
But then what's the point of the 26 other than magazine compatibility?
That's the only reason.
Because you also reduce your sight radius, you also reduce your energy,
I'll
you
be honest
reduce
with
your
you.
accuracy.
For me, my sight radius being shorter like that helps me out.
Really?
Yeah, I'm the opposite. It really does help me out. I don't know if it's my eyes or what, but it just helps me having a shorter sight radius. I've always been able to shoot my 26 better.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I shoot the 26 well.
Small Josh has always been like, "Oh, give me a 34. I'm way better with it, longer sight radius, all that stuff." I'm like, it has more of a chance to move for me if I use a longer sight radius than I do a shorter one.
Yeah, I think it may just be how much time you have behind it. Do you have
Maybe.
more time behind a 26 than
Do.
like a 34 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lightning Scott said odd. Very odd. Josh is the one person in the world that it's the longer sight radius doesn't help. But I mean, it's also, look, it's the time you have behind the gun. So like,
Now, sight radius on a rifle is a
yeah,
little different.
yeah.
But for me, a pistol, a shorter sight radius is better.
I feel you.
I've done a walk back challenge with multiple people where we've basically started at like 7 yards, ding the target, walk back another 5 yards or whatever it is, and all the way up to like I think it was like 75 or 80 yards, and we were hitting them ding 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 one after the other. And I mean, I've done several walk back challenges with the 26, and it was great.
I was gifted a channel membership. What was I gifted a channel membership on?
What?
Hold on. Is this? Oh, dang. I was gifted a channel membership on Dark Water. Nice. If you guys don't know, Dark Water is an awesome knife channel. And I was wondering, I was like, who else goes live at the same time? But yeah, Dark Water is becoming a friend of the channel. So check him out. He does a lot of knife content. So yeah, so the PT-111s and PT-145s, the reason I bring up the magazine picture from the G27 is because they did the same thing when they released the Taurus PT-145. they showed it in someone's hand, and it was like a micro machine. Like they tried to make it look like so small, and I'm like, dude, come on, like let's be honest about this stuff, you know. But
I don't know. It's pretty small on my end.
it is. I mean, it's definitely small, but like I really want to find the.
I
the
really want to be
picture.
on Rumble so we can
Yeah.
show things.
I know, dude. I know.
Y'all go follow on Rumble right now.
Yeah, you need to. Hang on, let me find this real quick.
Dark water.
What was maybe introduction? Maybe that'll help. Man, this is gonna drive me crazy.
I can try to find it. Let me try to find it.
I'm trying to think of what like gun magazines were out. I know this is before Recoil magazine. Maybe Handgunner magazine. Handgunner magazine. No, that wasn't it. What's here? I'm gonna have to look in chat. Shotgun News. No, it wasn't Shotgun News. If you do get the staccato, definitely get one with a firing pin block with the 80 series trigger. It wasn't the Alien. The Alien is pretty crazy. Yeah, and honestly, I think keeping your carry guns mostly stock, like it's totally okay to do that. Guns and ammo. Oh, you know what? You might be right. I think it was guns and ammo. Hold on, guns and ammo magazine. Okay, hold on. So this is all right. I'll do.
See, I'm just
release.
I'm just finding pictures of guns in magazines.
In magazines and magazine releases. I know it's oh, man, and you guys will know the second that we find it, and then like I show it off, you guys are going to laugh your behind off. I mean, they literally make it look like the size of a. Oh, is this it? Hold up. This might be it. Oh, come on, don't do that to me. Hold on.
Chrome will let you do it.
Open image in new tab. Okay, hold up. Hold up. Okay. Dude, Traveler, thank you so much.
So they're
share
thinking that
screen.
it's just like it just looks really small in the guy's hands. Oh, get out of here.
Tell me that this is the size of a Glock 27, bro.
Well, I mean, I have really big hands, and
dude,
I
I'm
don't
with
know,
you.
man.
I got like I could palm a basketball, right?
Yeah.
But dude, there ain't no way unless that is Andre the Giant. There is no way.
I'm gonna go get mine. I'm not gonna show it on here, but I'm gonna go get it just to see.
Dude, I got a 26 right here. Hold on. I'm attached by the headphones. And I got a gallon of water in front of the safe. Okay, here's a 26. All right, let me see. Oh, dang it. That's not the 26. Here's a 26. You guys cannot tell me that thing was not sized to appear. Hold on, let's see.
Dude, there's no way.
No.
I'm literally holding it in my hand right now,
Lovely.
and
Baby
there's
Glock.
no possible way.
Any thoughts on the Mech Guard G19 mags? Did they drop new mags?
They did, yeah.
Really? I got
one more mag.
one more. You mean one more round in the mag?
One more round, yeah. Sorry, yeah. So I'm holding it in my hand right now, and unless, like you said, that's Andre Giant's hand, there's no possible way that that's a Glock 26.
No.
Like
No,
it looks like I can fit it in my hand. Don't get me wrong. Like I can fit it inside my hand, inside my finger.
you
But it
know
doesn't
what?
look like that.
We're gonna do this right now. Hang on.
I'm
I gotta get-
I'm
I
gonna take
gotta
a picture.
get-
I'm gonna take a picture of mine.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm doing. Oh, oh.
I gotta clean
I'm,
my lens off. It looks all foggy.
I'm gonna try to do it the same way.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do exactly the same position that he has it in.
All right. Hold up. Now I'm going to share it with myself.
All right.
I just heard the pa-ching. Dude, if this come on, these dudes are well and there ain't no way that thing is come on. Let's be honest. Be honest. All
There you
right,
go.
hold on.
I sent it to you.
All right, I just got mine too. Okay, hold on. Oh, nice. I see yours too. All right. Man, I feel like we need to put these right next to each other, but let's just do this here. I'll do present and then I'll do window. This is a 26. Granted, it's a P80. All right. I took the magazine out. Oh, hold up. Hold the phone. Did they have a +2 in that thing? Or was it a flat? Okay, it's a flat magazine.
It's flat,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, there ain't no way. There ain't no way.
Oh, and mine doesn't even have a magazine in it either. So
Yeah, mine doesn't have a magazine in it either. Dude, come on, they're well in. All right, let's. So that is almost exactly the same way the dude is holding it. Is there's absolutely not the grip goes past my hand, and dude, I'm telling you, I do not have small hands like this. The fact that they did this with marketing is just insane to me, man. And they did the same exact thing with the PT 111. All right, so now let me get yours. Granted, mine's a P80, but let's be real, it doesn't make that much of a difference. I see yours. Dude, that's
that's
great.
what I'm saying. It's
All right, hold on. Oh, this is great. Oh man, here's yours.
it's. I mean, I can fit it in my hand for sure, but
Yeah.
it's not that small.
I could definitely fit mine in my hand as well, but not in the palm of my hand.
I think mine stayed all the way in my hand though.
Oh, dang it. I clicked the wrong picture. There
I'm
it
pretty
is.
sure it did anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, there ain't no, and you can
But it
tell
ain't
both
like
of
that,
us
yeah.
are like kind of stretching out our digits a little
Yeah.
bit too.
It ain't nowhere near like theirs is though. That
No,
was seriously some Andre the Giant hands.
he said that's a
There's no way
G42.
there's no it could have been.
No, because this was years. This is a decade before the
Oh.
G42 came out. It's just like, let's be honest. Now, the reason I even brought all of that up
I
is
don't think
because,
they could have photoshopped that back in the day. It literally had to be somebody with massive hands.
but
they're just
even then, just the proportions are all jacked up. Like, look at this.
I
First
thought
off,
he had two hands on it, to be honest with you.
I mean, it kind of looks that way, but they can absolutely Photoshop. They could Photoshop back then, and they can Photoshop now because all the stuff they would do for pictures, like they could literally take a picture of a hand a little bit further back, and then take a picture of a hand like closer to the camera, and then take a picture of the Glock a little bit further away, because just like the scale and proportions are just not right.
But the shadow and stuff is right on it. I mean,
Yeah, but you can add shadow and stuff.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
I say
Even back
Photoshop.
then, though, how long ago was that? Like, what year was that?
Yeah, it's probably 10 years ago, something like that.
Oh, only 10? Yeah, then yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was 27. The introduction of the 27. No, that had to be like what?
It was between
90s,
Gen
right?
2.5 and 3. So,
That was 90s.
actually, no. I think this may have been very early 2000s. Hang on. The reason I say that is because remember what recoil spring
He said we're still talking about guns, right?
remember what recoil spring
Eric, yeah, but
the
I'm talking about like Photoshop in the early 90s, early or late 90s. I mean, I don't know if it could do that or not. I'm sure it probably could. Who knows?
So remember what recoil spring they started using in the 26s and 27s. And that was what brought along the Gen 4 because
Yeah.
they went to the dual reinforced recoil springs for all of their guns for recoil absorption, for blah blah blah, all that. Which is funny because they always said the polymer guide rods, we use those because there needs to be a little bit of flex. And then they change all their guns to all metal guide rods like slowly over a long period of time. It's like, come on, y'all could have just, but let's go here. So G27 Fodical. So I'm the reason I'm bringing this up is because I think that it was later. 28 newtons. Let's see. Really? Why does this give, it tells me how many newtons the trigger pull is, but it doesn't say when it really? Okay, hold on. Let me find
Talking
another
about Gen
one.
5s anyway.
What Glock do Navy SEALs carry?
ChatGPT. When was the
Glock 27.
Glock 27 introduced? 1996.
96. Wow.
Yep.
I was thinking early 2000s. But I mean, in 96, they absolutely had Photoshop. Okay, when was Photoshop created? Hold on, let's figure this out.
When was Photoshop created?
$1987.
87. Yep.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, so for people that are just tuning in, like, what is going on?
I thought this was a gun show.
Yeah, well, so funny thing is, we talk about guns, we talk about the industry, we talk about gear, we talk about kit, we talk about God, we talk about everything here, right?
Yeah.
Fig Newton, which, by the way, we all need more God in our lives every single day.
Yeah.
But before we get into some other stuff that I want to talk about, I brought all this stuff up about the Glock 27 and the extremely disingenuous marketing photos that went out about it, because I knew when I saw that gun and I saw that gun on the magazine and it was like introducing the micro squirrel gun, it's like, come on, that's so disingenuous. But they did the same thing to the Taurus PT 145 and the PT 111. They put that thing out like it was a micro. Oh, careful! Like
What?
it was a micro squirt gun. It was
showing a little part of it.
Showing a little bit.
Dude, I put this performance trigger in this thing, and
you got to shoot it. It feels funky.
I mean, I like it. It's just I don't know if I would need it to carry it. You know what I'm saying?
So I have the performance trigger in my 19X, and when I first put it in and tried it, I was like, And there's a couple things I like and a couple things I don't like. Allow me to explain. Yep. So, firstly, there's a safety thing about Glock, which is when the gun is when the striker is actuated or engaged, the trigger is forward. When the striker has been fired and it is disengaged, the trigger is back.
Yeah.
Well, not on the performance trigger.
Not on this
because it has that spring pressure pushing it forward. That's also the spring pressure that gives like the assisted reset. Go do a bill drill with that thing, and you will put 6 rounds faster than you've run any other Glock. It is crazy fast. But so the one thing is the safety thing. I don't like it if people are used to
backward.
yeah, then you're always going to feel like your gun is unsafe. But let's be real, we always treat all guns as if they all are always loaded all the time. So just don't be a tard and you'll be okay. It's just a personal thing. Two,
Now it's
uh,
obviously
w-
lighter, right? It's like a 3.5 pound trigger.
it is, but so here's the thing. When you first put it in, and when I first put mine in, I was like, it's okay, but it's not like super impressive. And then I felt one. So actually, let me back up. Before I even purchased it, I uh, I felt one that was brand new on a brand new gun that had never been fired, and I was like, that's not worth $100,
Mhm.
$80, whatever they are at that time. And then I felt one at another gun shop that had thousands and thousands. I don't even know how many thousands of rounds through it, and that thing was like smooth, buttery, crisp, and the reset was crazy. And I was like, okay, this is something I'd be like, as long as you run it, it's going to kind of polish itself out and get better. So I ended up buying it, and it was like a little squishy and not super impressive. As I've put a couple thousand rounds through it, dude, it's way better, and it only
Cool.
gets better the more you shoot it. The only thing I'll say for the dudes out there that love Glock, and you've been building Glocks for so long that you could disassemble a Glock trigger housing with your teeth, and you just know exactly what to do with anything and everything. It's part of a Glock. Do not disassemble the trigger housing of a Glock OEM performance trigger. You will hate every moment of trying to get it back together. It looks like the
What part of it?
internals,
What part of it's bad to put together?
all of it. The trigger housing, it's
Yeah.
like the internals of a pocket watch. Did you disassemble it all?
I mean, I think I did. I mean, the bar came off of it and everything. I put the bar back on it.
Yeah, but you just had to slip the bar back in the little
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
If you were to just looking in the back of it,
Yeah.
it almost looks like bicycle chain gears. It's totally different.
Hmm.
There's like 8 parts back there held together with like tiny little
Now,
steel
is it
pins.
different than the regular OEM one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. From like a regular OEM trigger housing.
Gen 5 OEM. Yeah.
So, yes, but it's the attachment point of the trigger bar isn't different, but everything else inside the trigger housing is completely different. It's
Hmm.
all metal. It's all
Okay.
metal. It's totally different, and I would not recommend taking it
I know
apart.
that when it came in the box, it had a rubber band around it, and I was like,
Yeah,
"That's different. I wonder why they have that on there." And it kind of kept it together, I guess.
because they do not want it coming apart because no one will ever be able to get it back together without understanding, you know, the firearm. All guns are loaded unless you're Alec Baldwin, thinking impaired. Thank you.
Even then, he
Um,
got off of it. So
yeah, that's true. But dude, this other guy that was in the middle of a BLM riot that had some dude that was let me say it differently. Some dude that was protesting point an AK-47
in his window.
directly at his face when he drew his handgun and defended himself as he should have, as he is given the natural right to do that by simply being born. He has the right to defend himself, period. He got charged and convicted of murder.
Yep.
Can you believe that? Like,
Yes, I can actually.
you know what? Just like Derek Chauvin should be released too.
I
Hot
agree.
take. Derek Chauvin did nothing wrong. I mean, there was definitely some other stuff going on that no one else is talking about. There was definitely criminality between. Let me see. Let me take a little step back. Let me say it differently. I would guess that by the information that I have found and come across and what's been out there, I would guess that there could be some alleged criminal behavior between Derek Chauvin, George Floyd, and others that were engaged in that incident. Specifically, going back to the counterfeit money operation and that whatever. That's a whole other thing. Anyway, but we could take us into the money talk. What are your thoughts on money?
It's the root of all evil
How
because
do you mean?
it becomes money is such a dependent that it basically becomes your god because it's something that you worship, it's something that you try to get all the time, it's something that you pay attention to the most. It literally is the root of all evil. And if you are trying to maintain that and trying to maintain getting it and maintain everything else, and then it takes your eyes off of everything, which would be your eyes should solely be pushed toward the Father. And if it's not, then that's what he means by there should be no other God above me. It's not necessarily just an idol, not just necessarily another literal God that you serve. It's literally anything that you serve above him. And if you are trying to get money all the time, 24/7, you're serving that money God and not him.
And they have programmed us into a world where not only is it something you could just choose to get less of it, they've programmed you to where you absolutely need to spend every day and all day getting it, or your family will suffer. By the way, that family is a blessing from God, right? You're charged with the responsibility of being like the spiritual leader of a household, or being, you know what I'm saying, right? So anything that you put before him, God the Father, anything that you put before the blessings that he's bestowed upon you, is it's something that the world has trained us to do, and it is super sad. But I want to ask you guys this. So when you look at the world and the evil that's in the world, why do people ignore their family to go to work all day, or both mom and dad leave to go to work all day? And why do they need, it's money, right? They have to work, they have to get money, or no roof over their head, no food
Right.
on the table, no, blah blah blah, just even just the bare necessities, forgetting the fact that rain falls from the sky, right? Like something you can't go 3 days without falls from the sky for you. Food grows from the ground for you. Food swims upstream and downstream, and food walks around and reproduces all over the place, and grows from the ground and all that, but whatever. We've been long removed from that world. The reason that moms and dads have to go, to work and be removed from their family for so long is because they need money. And the reason that most crimes are committed is because they need money. And going back a little bit, those moms and dads that go out to get money, they come back and they're all stressed out, and they're bringing stress from work home, and they just need a break and all this stuff. Like, you're with the people that you work with 8, 10, 12, 16 hours a day, whatever, right? Depending on your job, sometimes more. And you come home, spend a few hours with your family before everyone goes to bed, and you need a break from your family when you've only been with them for a few hours. Like, it's something is becoming truly twisted with this world. Something has been truly twisted with this world, and it is the absolute need for money. Like the breath that you draw, it is a necessity. But looking at the evil in the world, almost all evil, almost all crime, almost all evil is for profit, right?
Yeah.
Yes, there are a lot of incidents where it's evil for the sake of evil. It's evil just to do wrong, just to, whatever. And we can, like, push that to the side, and let's say, like, all right, serial killers kill because they're serial killers and they're just going to do that stuff either way. They may not do it for profit. They may not, but in most cases, why do people steal?
Why do they steal?
Yeah. What do they steal for?
I mean, obviously to get something they don't have.
Yeah.
Could be
For
anything. Could be money, could
usually,
be guns, could be profit, could be anything.
yeah, usually it's to gain something, either money or something they could turn into money, or
Yeah.
but in most cases it's money. Why do people drug deal?
Money.
For money in most cases. Sometimes they just love the hustle. They just love the, whatever. But really it's the money that they either enjoy, need, love, whatever. Why do women prostitute themselves out?
Oh, money.
Money.
But some
Right?
people may be addicted to sex. I don't know.
Of course. Yeah. Why not do what you love and get paid for it? But I went through all this stuff because excuses. Yes, absolutely. And dude, hold on. Did someone say Glocks and Geisleys don't grow on trees? Yes, that's why we do what we do for money. Dude, it's I think money is a programming tool And I
Sure.
can't even say I think. From all the evidence that's been given to us, I believe that the evil in the world is it's almost like the string pullers wanted to design a way to create such a need for money, like the breath that you draw from the air, that they had to program the society to need it so desperately that they'd be willing to, sacrifice every core value that they have, sacrifice everything that they love and desire and family. And how many people have made terrible decisions and like, oh, I chose not to have a family because me and my wife just weren't ready, or just whatever, right?
We
And
weren't
you're
financially stable.
exactly,
I've
yeah.
said that a long time ago.
Oh, for sure, dude. I never would have thought that I could have, actually cared for another human being until you care for another human being,
Yep.
and then it changes everything, right? But they've programmed us to where we believe that we need that stuff so badly. We need money, which now isn't even money. It's just literal like fake digits on a screen.
Mhm.
It's just crazy. Honestly, I think it is all programming from the evil one. And it's programming from the evil one. And by the way, First John 5:16 says essentially the entire world is under um influence of the evil one.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, think about that. It could be with everything too. I mean, it's also not just money. I mean, it could be everything. Your addiction to the stuff that's in your mind. It could be the
Yep.
everything, literally everything.
Yeah. Dude, when I was using
Sin.
illicit
I mean, sin,
substances.
flesh, whatever. It doesn't matter.
For sure. Sin of the flesh, same thing as prostitution, right? Sometimes somebody may go do something to get money to go sin with a prostitute who, by the way, is whoring herself out for money, right?
Yeah.
And she
Mhm.
may just have a kid that she needs to take care of or whatever. Again, all of these are like excuses, reasons that when you fall into the world of criminality, it is so easy. I remember, you know what? I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna take it so far back. I remember the first thing that I ever did wrong, where I ever will when I ever, excuse me, for the first time ever said, "You know what? I don't care if I'm doing something wrong. I'm gonna go do something." And it was when I was a child. So we used to have this store not too far up the road from us, right? And we would go into the store all the time, and it would be like a walk of like a few, basically like one neighborhood over, two neighborhoods over, and we'd go to the store. And I want to give too much information, say like the name of the store or anything. I almost did, but we would go to the store, and we'd walk through, and they would always be hawking us like they thought we were stealing stuff, but we never did. We were just really, I mean, like really young kids, right? This is back when your parents were like, "Get out, go ride your bike until
Yeah, you can't
the
do
the
that no more. It
street
doesn't
lights
happen
turn
like that.
on." Yeah, no, no. Now it's like, go plug your device in so you can play games until your brain dies.
Yeah.
Um, and we'd come out like when the street lights came on, we would go back inside.
Same.
Honestly, when it came dark, right? When it
Same.
became dark. And we'd go to the store. And I remember I actually was in church. So weeks before this, I need to back up. Um, one of the guys is this you know, bigger kid, older kid. He came out with a bunch of stuff from the store, and I was like, "Dang, like you're balling like that." I mean, I didn't say it like that, but and he was like, he's like, "Oh, I got it with the 5-finger discount." I was like, "You got a discount? You share that with me." He's
Me,
like,
I'll get
"Nah." Yeah. He's like, "Nah, stupid 5-finger discount. I stole it." And I was like, "Oh my goodness.
yeah.
I'm affiliating with a criminal. Oh my goodness. What if the guy comes out? What if the store owner comes out right now? Oh my goodness, put it away. What if he sees you?"
Yep.
And I was just such a young, like easily influenced young silly kid. And we had like nothing when we were growing up, and my parents, man, they did such a great job raising us, but we didn't have a whole lot. And that kind of sat with me, with this dude going in and getting whatever he wanted, right? So I remember one day I was in church, and I think I was about 10, and I think it was before I was 10 because I started smoking cigarettes when I was like 10 or 11,
Yep.
which is super young, but
Nope.
sorry
Right
guys.
there with you.
Yeah.
Dip.
So I was probably
Smoke 'em,
around like
whatever.
9 or 10 or whatever. And then
You know what's crazy though? Listen to this. So
mm,
basically, I have my wife has a relative that is
mhm,
same age. I think he's 11, and I'm
mhm.
like, man, the stuff that I was doing at 11,
Yeah,
and he's just worried about playing Nintendo Switch, and I'm
dude.
like, the stuff that I was doing at 11, 12 years old, like that's nowhere near the stuff he's doing right now.
But at the same time, there's a whole generation of kids
Yeah,
that like at 12 to 14 are doing stuff that we were doing in our 20s.
yeah,
Right? Like there's like I was reading these things where like these parents were talking about their kids where like they got into their like social media and stuff. First off, if you have to hack into your kids' social media, you are the ones giving them those tools, right?
yeah.
Like you are in control over that. And she was like, this mom was talking about how like, her daughters were like asking to like for rides from guys, and then like to say thank you, they were sucking them off. Like just running around
What?
giving blowjobs like crazy. And these were young teenage girls. And I talked to my nephew and he was like, "Oh yeah, bro, like that's just how that's like a way of saying thank you nowadays." And I was just like blown. But I guess like back in the day, I got a whole bunch of blowjobs for like very little. But
Let me
anyway,
tell you what we used to snag, whatever, back in the day for no reason. We used
mhm,
to get Bic lighters because we could use them, but we'd also just like to pop them on the ground.
yeah,
That's the reason why we would take them.
we used to
No
like
reason whatsoever.
catching
Totally
stuff on fire.
risk for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. That one thing when I finally in my mind was like, I want something. I want to take something from a store. And I was like, you know what? I want a candy bar. You know what?
Yeah, all the time.
Today, when I get home from church, today, I'm going to go take a candy bar. And you know what that did? That moment when I walked in there and I pocketed that candy bar, and I did it like nothing. It was like the moment I decided to, like, they say like Breaking Bad. It was the moment that I decided to break bad, right? And I went, rode my bike up to the store, walked in, took a candy bar, left, rode my bike down to this little like we had a creek, like tunnels. We had all this. We had a really dope setup back in the day, man. I really wish my daughter could grow up in an environment like that, but I have to make some life changes to be able to provide that for her. So
Yeah, like moving to Tennessee.
yeah, that would be fire. I would actually like that. I would just have to kidnap, or never mind. But yeah, so I went and I ate that candy bar, and man, you know what? Sin
That
tastes
feeling.
good,
Mhm.
and it was the best tasting candy bar I ever had. And
Yep.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep doing it, and I kept doing it. I kept doing it. I kept doing it. It got worse. We stole cigarettes and cigars and all. This is when they literally had cigars and cigarettes in the aisles
Yeah.
next to like candy and stuff like that,
Oh
not
yeah.
next to, but
Close
it, it
enough.
they- yeah, it was close enough to where I was, I had a steady diet of Swisher Sweets back in the day and Black and
Yep.
Milds, and we'd go down and we had to take matches and lighters and all that. But also, I started to grow facial hair at a pretty young age, and I could just go buy cigarettes when I was a teenager wherever I wanted, and they didn't card people. And
Camels,
then
Turkish gold. They don't make
Turkish
those anymore.
golds, Turkish jades. They don't make them anymore.
Mm.
That
I think
sucks.
that went out when they started doing like the crush thing.
That's so trifling, dude. Camel Crush.
Terrible.
But that brought me into, first off, the whole squad started stealing stuff. The whole squad started stealing stuff, then selling stuff and selling candy at school, pocketing money. And then we started like buying Pixie Six and selling Pixie Six at school, and then or stealing them and then selling them, and we started making money. And then later on in life, I got into selling other things that was not good at all. Then it took me down a whole different path of, guns and drugs and the usage of drugs and sex
I never
and
got into drugs. I ain't gonna lie.
dude, I mean, that's good. I mean, that's it's just really easy to, I think once you walk over the threshold of darkness, it's so much easier to just keep gliding in, but it's that
Yeah.
one step over the threshold that's like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And it was the same thing, actually, backing it up, even further during the whole drug thing when I was into drugs. For everyone listening here that does not know, I was a user of opiates for a long time. I've been clean for over 14 years, and this is not a reflection of who I am now as a person. I've been clean for a long time. But and some people say, well, then, like, why do you say you're an addict? You're 14 years clean. Because the moment that a person doesn't acknowledge that they still have an issue, it gets dangerous when you don't treat that addiction like it is still the addiction that it is. So and I guarantee you, so we have like almost 60 people in here, I promise you every single person in here has been touched by opiate abuse and addiction some way, whether it's you personally or someone that you love or someone that you know that is either using drugs, still using drugs, got clean from drugs, or is dead or in jail from opiates. There is no way in 2025 that you do not fall in one of those categories. And please tell me if you know if that's you. Good for you, Ronan. Good for you, brother. Man, I remember the old OCs, man. They don't make them like they used to. Man, I cannot tell you the amount of green OC shavings that was on the carpet of my of my old spot. And red and every other 60s and the 80s and all that. My bad. I don't want to trigger anyone. But I remember the moment when you talk about walking over that threshold, right? And yes, it's young men too that are prostituting themselves, not just young women. So, raise your kids with Christ in their life. But I remember the moment,
He always stuck with me, man. I never got left alone.
even
Always
man,
there.
that song, The Reckless Love of God, dude, that hits so close because it's like, even when I was your foe, you fought for me. Like, dude, it's
Yeah.
deep. But the moment that I used to just eat pills, I used to just snort pills, and all the people around me were like, shooting pills. And I remember when a bunch of them were like, dude, you are wasting your money. Because at that point, I would snort, a whole bunch of pills and not even get high. I would just get well. I just wouldn't be sick anymore. Dope sick for the people that are in the, viewers that don't know. And I remember the moment that I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to try, shooting it instead of snorting it or eating it. And I did. And that little, I'm just going to walk over this threshold, brought me into a whole different game of shooting pills. And then that brought me to a whole different game of shooting heroin. And that brought it just, everything toppled down. And once you say, I'm going to walk over that threshold, that's when you get introduced to a whole different world of evil. And if you think that people that are just normal people that need money are desperate, meet a junkie that is trying to get well. Man, that's a level of desperate that is just crazy. And also ask yourself this: why in the world would we be in a position where basically the Chinese is allowed to work with the cartels, and the cartels are allowed to bring this stuff over into the US? Now I know we're stopping getting, a bunch of it. We're getting some of it. We're stopping some of it from coming in here. But over 100,000 people a year are dying from fentanyl poisoning and fentanyl overdose. So this is the world that they want, population control, playa.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's faith and action. God will handle it, but you better do better.
Yeah.
Dude, 100%. It is.
So you have grace. You do have grace, but it does not give you an excuse to sin.
For sure. Absolutely. Yep. And we talked about that too, about, taking advantage of God's grace and
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, I'll just sin because I know I'll be forgiven."
Yeah.
That's
Iniquity
called something. Yep. Yep. Oh, snap.
doesn't
Sorry.
give you an excuse to sin.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, sorry, just a little side conversation there I wanted to bring up. And man, uh God bless everybody out there that is either dealing with the struggle, has dealt with the struggle, or has a loved one or someone that they care about dealing with the struggle. And I'll be real, myself, with all the friends and everyone that I grew up with, literally, like, I can think of 3 people that are not dead, in jail, or still using drugs from my youth.
Crazy.
Now, that's probably my fault for associating with such a bad, group of people that were all in the darkness. But, it's like I
I mean, it could be just in some places where you live too. I mean, it's very. Some places are just bad, man. Some places are just not the
yeah,
greatest. And
and
a
sometimes,
lot of that could be small towns too. Like, I mean, I grew up in a
yeah,
very small town, and it was kind of that way for me too. I knew very few people that actually did not. Uh, I mean, I knew very few people that made it out, basically.
yeah, yeah. Redneck Pepper says, I use morphine, but I'm prescribed to it and I need it. Dude, I totally get it. And I would recommend, depending on your situation, and I don't offer any advice. I'm not, so let me stop saying I recommend. What changed my life was choosing to get on a maintenance drug. There are a lot out there like Suboxone, Subutex, Subzolve, some type of buprenorphine um, uh, type of medication has saved, at this point, probably hundreds and hundreds of thousands of lives, if not millions of lives. I don't know, but yeah, it's a game changer. Um, the issue is that I see people that were like addicted to Percocet or addicted to Vicodin. They come over and they get on something like Suboxone, Subutex, Subzolve, whatever, and th- the product that they're needing to get on to get off of the opiates is 10 to 100 times more potent than what they were on.
Mm.
And I believe buprenorphine is 100 times more potent than morphine. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, this person's tolerance is than this person's tolerance. And I'm just saying that the reality is that some people, it'd be better. Like, I wish I just kicked when I was a kid eating pills. I would have been so much easier, but my mind was not ready to actually become clean and live a good, positive, healthy life of growth and development. But yeah, it's every person's, seek health, you know, information from a health professional. I'm not a health professional. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist. And if you take advice from me, you're stealing. So that's all I'm saying. Dark, look where you're at now. That's courage in my book. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. It's life, Dark. Yes, it is. Um, we all know people like that. Symptoms of being human. Love them the same. Yes, and always, love the sinner, hate the sin. That's that's the truth. Um, uh, we are the land. Xanti Misfit Toys. And Mike slides in for the win. Not all, but most addicts become addicted to substances from being sexually abused, losing a loved one, or injury. Yeah, it's crazy. Most, they say most, specifically with opiates, they say most opiate addiction comes from shame and self-hatred. Like, how sad is that, dude? Shame and self-hatred. Now, of course, a lot of times those incidents, like you mentioned, can cause those things in people. All sicknesses come from mineral deficiency, heavy metal toxicity, and parasites. Most mental things spawn from that. But overall, in our environment that we need to change, we must break the matrix. Yeah, that could be true.
I've heard people taking ivermectin on a normal day basis.
Yeah, I've also heard of people that had cancer, stage 4, like terminal cancer, that take ivermectin and like some kind of blue dye.
Yeah, it was like a
And
what was it called? I can't remember the blue it was called, but it's basically like a blue jean dye, like it's a fabric dye.
mhm,
They
mhm.
inhale it like a what was that called? Like a
Some
treatment, like a breathing treatment.
dude, some just literally drink it.
Mm.
But the interesting thing is people forget your lungs are like they're like the filter for your blood. If you take a pair of adult lungs and you peel each layer back, it can literally cover an entire tennis court.
Mm.
It is crazy. I mean, it is what filters your lungs, and that's why a lot of people that used to use drugs intravenously, that's why they have a lot of like particles inside their lungs. They get infections, pneumonia, and stuff like that because for so long their lungs were filtering nasty stuff in. Like shooting pills is one of the worst thing that you can do from a health standpoint because of all the particles and just disgusting stuff. Anyway, sorry, I didn't want to take it down this whole road, but shout out to everyone that's clean, and God bless those that are still struggling with that disease. It is serious. It takes more people from us than almost any other thing that I can think of. If you were to take deaths from firearms and deaths from vehicles, you might be able to get close to just how many people are taken from opiates.
Also, I want to say this too. If you do a very, very low carb diet, like almost like a carnivore diet or just a very low carb diet, it actually, your body doesn't have to fight itself for the stuff like that fights your white blood cells. So sugar and carbs are what are fighting your white blood cells, the stuff that fights sicknesses and stuff like that. So if you actually cut all of that out, your body will not have a chance to fight itself, and it will completely fight off sicknesses too.
Yeah. Meth has gotten real bad. Meth has gotten real bad around me, but opiates and cocaine is still a big problem. Uh, Methamphetamines, yeah, no bueno. And that's something that's man-made there. That's Why are you up so late, Corn Pop, brother? Great to see you, man. Hope you're well, dude. Yeah, all drugs are bad. Don't do drugs, okay? Anyway, now that we're off the drug thing, here's what I'll let you guys know. If you're looking at a Radiant Afterburner, nothing like mixing drugs and guns, right? If you're looking at a Radiant Afterburner to tame the wild recoil of the massive 9mm cartridge, what you should consider is so Radiant Afterburners are great, and they can be had for anywhere from $300 to $400, depending on where you go and all that. The Marconi V2 is an excellent option. The Marconi V2, that was what I sent you the
Are
picture
they in here right now?
I don't know if Marconi is in here right now. If he is, I think he said code dark actually saves you like something like 10 or more percent. I don't recall exactly, but you do get a discount. So for about the same price as a Radiant Afterburner, you get Puerto Ricans are man-made too. You get about the same for about the same cost as a Radiant Afterburner. You actually get a slide and barrel that are custom ported, and they're crazy flat shooting. There's a whole bunch of videos out there on that stuff. It's like around 4 something, but you get a slide barrel custom, and they actually machine the barrel. Like they remove the rifling after the chunk port, so it doesn't throw pieces of jacket up at you like a lot of other porting does. That's an excellent option. However, I found a product. Josh and I were talking about it. We're going to probably do some testing on it. There is a product that is a Glock barrel. It is made by Aim Surplus. Aim Surplus, in my book, they're awesome. They've done a lot of great stuff. They still sell stuff to certain places that other places won't. But Aim Surplus made a barrel. It is for a Glock 19. Actually, let me show this. I've already shown so much stuff tonight. I may as well. Bink, Bink. Bink. Really? Are you saying I can't share this photo with myself because I have low disk space?
That happened earlier.
Dude, it's happened. Oh, come on. There's not enough available storage to airdrop something to myself.
One picture.
Bro, come on. Let me try this. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, now let's go back to this. Recently deleted. And then I'm going to have to delete stuff.
I found it if you want to see it.
Oh, do you have it pulled up?
Yep.
That was going to be my next thing. Was pull it up on the website. I just know that they get really crit. So what I would do is click on the one that has the muzzle in it.
I got
Click on the picture with the muzzle in it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. Next one.
What do you mean next one?
The next picture. Next picture. All right. And can you full screen that, or is that as big as it goes? There you go. Perfect. I just don't want to see the aim. Yep. There you go. Okay. So this is the barrel. They have a whole bunch of data on this. This reduces your I forgot what the term is, but this reduces the felt recoil by an average of 21%. Well, there's like a term for how flat it is, and I forgot what the terminology is, but there's a whole bunch of data. Actually, some of the next pictures show the data if you guys are curious. It's like an 11 to 1 o'clock port, right? There you go. There's the data if you guys want to screenshot that. It shows, it's called the JTT ported barrel for 19, and it reduces on average 21% of the felt recoil.
Wow.
And can you scroll down to the lower one right there? Yep. Okay, so let me open this up to read. Okay. Test setup 100% OEM Gen 319, ransom rest, and Mantis X10 Elite. JTT average 17.909 degrees. OEM average 22.662 degrees. The JTT muzzle rise reduction is 4.753 degrees as an average for the 10 shots fired.
Mm-hmm.
And that is an average of 21% of a difference. By the way, this is for $59. For $59.
That's pretty good.
Bro, I'd be all over this.
Picking one up.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick one up as well. Because dude, for like your main, yeah, me too. Aim surplus is awesome. Red Dawn, do you have any whatchamacallit experience with it? With that particular one? The rainbow barrel came from them. Nice. Kim used in Breaking Bad for the cook was methylene. Methylene is the blue dye stuff that works on all kinds of illnesses.
Oh, cool.
Fluffy Bunny, you were super close. Dang, that's crazy. Do they make a left-handed version? Yes, they make a right and a left-handed version, and it's the same one. It's an 11 to 1 o'clock port, basically. You got to keep in mind, it is going to throw a fireball, right? Like, there is no way to port a gun like this and not have a big V-shaped fireball coming out of it. But you're not going to see a fireball on every single shot fired. If you are using night vision, I probably would not use a ported gun. And that's just, use it your own judgment. But you can, right? But I wouldn't.
It's so hit or miss. Like shooting ported guns, it's not bad. I don't think.
It just depends. Like at night, you see everything.
Maybe
Whereas,
at night,
like,
sure, yeah, maybe.
At night, under night vision, I wouldn't use it. Like when I'm running my ported Gen 545, if I'm doing any night goon stuff, I'm taking the
Mr. Big Kid said he uses his under his nods, and it wouldn't, that ramjet and the radiant afterburner. He said he used under nods, it wasn't bad at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
That's
I'd
one thing
be.
we were talking about in that video. I got a video dropping on Saturday on Rumble, so if y'all want to see it, but yeah,
I think maybe one of the reasons that mine is so ridiculous is because of the style of the 4 ports on the barrel.
yeah,
It just like it. I
it
mean,
looks massive, yeah,
it's just
and
crazy.
that's not even at night.
Yeah, that's not at night. And under night vision, let me see. There's another perspective I have here. Look at this thing, dude. It is just like boosh.
But
It's crazy.
it's for a split second, right? Like,
Yeah, it's a split second. And I mean, it's not, it's just if you're going to go out and do night goon stuff with night vision,
yeah,
it would just probably, help like reaction time. It'll because your night vision is auto gating so quickly that it doesn't even really impact you, but it just kind of, it's like, it's similar to if white light was going off or if IR was going off,
yeah,
because your nods auto gate so fast that you can't even really tell. But it's almost like your environment goes negative for a second and then goes back negative for a second. What's white will be black and what's black will be white, and it'll just kind of
yeah,
change real quick. So it's not like unusable. It's just like it's a big fireball. So avoiding that would be, helpful, but
yeah.
no big deal. Strobe lights. Even strobes, it's just kind of flickering. It's not like that whole thing about like, I got an idea. We'll use our goon beam assault lights to blind them. Night vision doesn't work like that. So but anyway, let's go ahead and wrap up. I know we've been here for 2.5 hours already. So while we do, any closing thoughts? Anything you want to?
You know, I think we say it all the time, and I think people that see us and that they know that we're God fearing men and Christ followers. I would just encourage everybody, if you have any questions, to we don't care to answer them. We don't care to talk about it. So if you have any questions on that aspect of it, we'd love to hear from you. But yeah, my ending thoughts would be check out my Rumble and also Fat Tack, but also to pray and talk to God, because all he wants to do is hear from you, and he'll change you if you're not changed already.
Yeah, facts, 100%. Yeah, man. It's kind of crazy. I was talking to one of my family members, and we were talking about finding Christ and committing your life to Christ, and it was interesting that I used to have this perspective of, we talked about like the only way someone could come to Christ is if they, stop living this bad life, and I can only come to Christ like clean, right? And it that's not how it works. Like,
Right.
he knows that we're all sinners, we all fall short. So you don't need to do anything before coming to him. Also, the thing that like would when I was younger, that would catch me up was like, well, if I become a committed Christian, if I commit my life to Christ, then I'm gonna have like all these restrictions and live this restrictive life and
Yeah.
not be able to do all that. And that is so untrue, completely untrue. There's maybe we need to do like a myth busting of of being a Christian.
Yeah. If he
Um,
changes your heart, you don't care about the things you can't do because you don't want to do them anymore.
Facts. Yeah, you will be changed from within, and you will no longer have a desire.
Huh. Well, that's weird.
And I accidentally kicked myself from the studio. Krisky, brother, look who is back. If you guys do not know, Krisky has returned to the United States of the internet, and holy moly, it is great to see you, brother. Thank you so much. If you guys have not subscribed to Krisky's new channel, you need to before he gets removed.
Huh.
Krisky, I'd love to have you back on the show, brother. So please make sure I was actually meaning to get back in touch with you, Chris. I just got sidetracked. But let's go ahead and wrap it up, guys. Make sure you follow Josh. Make sure you check out Fat Tack. Just give him some traffic. Hit up his website. Show him some love. Check him out on Instagram. Check him out on Rumble. Do all the things that we do. And in the end, man, I'll tell you, just like I always do, right now is the time to get right with your family and get right with God. There's no excuses. It's if today were your last day on earth, right? If all of a sudden the trumpet sounded off and you looked up and Jesus was in the sky, bro, it's too late. So yeah, get right with God. And if any of you
Well,
guys,
technically, you have 7 more years, but it's going to be really bad 7 years.
maybe, I don't know. There's a lot of different perspectives on the rapture and who, and I don't know. All I claim to know is that Jesus wants to know you, so get right with him as fast as you can.
Still not an
but
excuse to sin. Is all.
of course, yeah, of course. Yeah, so we're actively engaged in a culture war, so it is incumbent upon you to be a culture warrior. And to do so, we as men, we hold ourselves to higher standards and expectations, to be the the leader within your home, the leader within your community, the leader within your church. That's super important. And some of the ways that we do that by holding ourselves accountable to higher standards and expectations, some of those rules I like to share with you at the end of every show, which is rule number 1 is to subscribe to Risky Krisky's new channel. No, rule number 1 is to be kind. It's so important that we're kind in everything that we do. That brief interaction that you have with somebody else could have a massive impact on your life. So be kind. Rule number 2 is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution. Give to others. When you bless others, you become blessed, because the hand that's open to give is open to receive. And rule number 3, because we know the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence, make sure that you're becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, and be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Christ is indeed King. Christ is Lord. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Josh, thanks so much for coming on, brother.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.